He switched the camera up. So I'm just in my living room, not my living room. This is like my kitchen / office. Yo, Brandon's in his studio. Look at it. Switch the camera again. Switch the camera. Switch the camera. There you go. There you go.
Angles.
Hey, listen, Brandon got all the camera angles, top, bottom. Man,
money.
Must be nice. Must be nice. Must be nice, y'all. Everyone, we are live. It's been a minute, but we are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Who. I think the last time we were live is when we. Okay. Listen, we got the sound effects. Man, doing it big over there, Brandon. But we are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Uhuru. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you go to dynastymirror.com. Tour Sierra Leone. Guys, I'm rebranding the tour company. Site is almost done. I've been working on this for a while. I usually do everything on my own, but I'm learning to delegate responsibilities out. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of tough. Okay, Brandon, you disappeared on us. Okay, you're back. It's kind of tough because there's a certain direction, as far as like layouts and stuff, how I want things to be. But when you hire somebody, you got to re-explain and explain things to them. But, I'm trying to be as hands-off as possible and, free up my time and all that good stuff. So we are rebranding the tour company. So the new site should be done. I'm begging my tour guy for it to be done by Monday. I'm begging him, but it's almost done. He's almost done. So like, share, subscribe, go to dynastymirror.com. In the meantime, go to searchforuhuru.com. Again, tour Sierra Leone. We're rolling April. Tentative dates are April 19th to the 29th. If you have your African ancestry DNA results, you are eligible for citizenship if it links back to Sierra Leone. So, come and join us. And in Nigeria, Oshun Festival in August, come and join us in Nigeria for the Oshun Festival. We are going to have, hold on 1 second. Okay, perfect. That's all. We're going to have a great time in Nigeria, and we're going to have a great time in Sierra Leone. Guys, hit that like button too, okay? Hit that like button. As you come to the chat room, please hit that like button. I mean, we shouldn't in 2022 have to ask y'all to hit the like button. It helps with the algorithm, however you say it. So please hit the like button. Let me shift my camera because I want you guys got to see at least part of the midday mass. There we go. Okay, there we go. You got to see my midday mass. This ain't. I have another one, but it's a Senegal, and I'm gonna send that to Sierra Leone. I'm gonna send that one to Sierra Leone because my friend, she was like, Dynus, you plan on building in Africa, but every time you go to Africa and you buy art and masks and artifacts and antiques, you keep shipping all that stuff back to America. So you got a point. So my newest items that I bought, I am keeping on the continent in Sierra Leone because I will be building something in Sierra Leone pretty soon. Before we get started, let me introduce our special guest. Shout out to WM West Coast, who is rolling with us to Sierra Leone. Brothers in the chat room. Before we get started, let me introduce our special guest. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since we. Somebody said the cost of likes is too high. Inflation, brother, I can't afford it. God dang, they charge it for likes now. Goodness, they charging for likes now. Oh man, charging for likes. But we got a special guest in his bougie studio. See, he got a studio. I'm still in my dining room. Like, this is like my dining room / office. Like, I don't eat in here that much, so it's like my office now. Brother Brandon Pan Afrikanism Strikes Back is in the house. And today's topic, man, guys, let me start off with this. What happened to the sister is wrong. I hope she gets justice. But I feel like we have to have this conversation once a year, once or twice a year. We have to have this conversation. What's the conversation, Dynast? The conversation is the grass on the other side of the fence is not greener. Again, date who you want, divest, do all that stuff. But, and if you are a divester, you are more than welcome to call in here in about 30 minutes. You're more than welcome to call in. But from the onset, from what I've observed when I was in Los Angeles, California, which we're going to get into, divestors are catching L's and they're not losing. Dynasty, I'm sorry, they are losing. They're not winning. Again, they're catching L's because the amount of bragging they do and divest girl, get you a white man girl, this girl, that girl, this girl. Love, I want you to call in because we're going to get into that because that's always the counter argument. Well, black men are killing black women too. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. But at the end of the day, white men are killing their own women and family at a much more higher rate than black men are killing their own women. Which,
man, we out here killing them with kindness, man.
But you know what's crazy? What's crazy? This divestment community, they have psychologically convinced themselves that they're going to out the white woman for their white men, and we're gonna get into that later. But I've always shared this example when I was in LA. So, and Love's in the chat. Listen, when Brother Bakari Henderson, here we go, got killed in Greece for approaching a white woman, Team Divestment was all over him. I even had something to say in regards to being careful and how this is a learning lesson. But boy, when it comes to when Team Divestment takes a L, man, y'all get upset and personal. And, I don't know. But let me start off with this, Brandon, and, you go ahead and jump into the conversation. When I was in Los Angeles, California, Team Divestment, shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson in the chat room, everybody. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. O'Shea, I'm going to get me a brand new pair of Hotep sandals with your donation, okay? With your donation, I'm going to get you, I'm sorry, not get you. I'm going to get a brand new fresh pair of sandals. But anyways, when I was in Los Angeles, California, women have resented men since the beginning of time. Men don't worry about that, about what the women are doing. If you're a builder, if you make money, if women see you're a winner, they ain't going nowhere. Facts. I agree. Like I said, we had this conversation about once a year, twice a year. But I remember when I was in LA, Team Divestment got tired of Pookie and Ray Ray allegedly. I ain't dealing with Pookie and Ray Ray. I'm going to get me a white man. Fine, no problem. They go to Orange County. They get ran through by Brad in Orange County. They didn't go to Malibu. They get ran through. No, they done with Pookie and Ray Ray. But then they get the Pookie and Ray Rays of the white community, the Asian community. They get ran through by bottom shelf Brad in Orange County. They then get ran through by bottom shelf Brad in Malibu. They get ran through by Ernesto in East LA. And I'm trying to figure out, how is this winning? Like, how is this? Because the top percentage of men in each group or demographic, they're going to marry and stay in their community. The top percentage of Asian men are going to marry Asian men. Even though Team Divestment swears by this, the top percentage of black men marry black women. The top percentage of Asian men are going to marry Asian women. The top percentage of white men are going to marry white women. But for some reason, Team Divestment has a lot of these sisters thinking that they're going to out white women for their white men. Brent, I see you smiling. But guys, the reason why we're talking about this is because Rest in peace, Lawrence Miss Fields. Again, I hope she gets justice. She made some comments that have surfaced in regards. I'm gonna pull it up here shortly on how she's not dealing with any colors. She said this. She said this. And it just seems like just me observing that, again, at the end of the day, Team Divestment, even though they claim they're winning, they're not winning. But go ahead, Brandon. Take it away.
I mean, you said it. You said it all, man. It's like, do I care about Laura Smith Fields? Not really. Neither do these women in the comments trying to pretend like they care. It's all virtue signaling. Black people do it very well. Liberal white America taught us how to do it, and we do it on every instance. The issue is this chick was acting like she was tired of Pookie and Ray Ray when she was Pookie and Ray Ray. She just wanted to be the only Pookie in the room. You don't leave the black man alone to then go do drugs on a yacht with a bunch of white dudes. I thought when
hold on, Brandon. Repeat. I want you to repeat that again.
You left Pookie and Ray Ray to go do Pookie and Ray Ray behavior with white dudes in a more dangerous environment, in a more hostile environment. So she wasn't done with the Pookie and Ray Ray behavior, which she was a model. She was the poster child of. She was just done doing it with people who were with other Pookie and Ray Ray. Like think about it. I don't even think the white dude. First of all, the white guy's innocent. Okay, if OJ's innocent, he's innocent. Just because that chick went on that boat and started doing drugs doesn't automatically mean she was murdered. Crackheads OD every day. That don't mean somebody forced them to sit.
She died. She died in her apartment or in the guy's apartment. Oh
no. She was on a yacht, and she was found unresponsive on the yacht. I think that's.
Are you sure?
You guys clarify me if I'm wrong. Wasn't she on a yacht and then was?
Nah, her body was found in an apartment.
Was she in an apartment? I thought she was on a boat.
No, she was on a boat.
Oh, well, she was in an apartment. Doesn't matter. No one forced you to smoke drugs. No one forced you to do opioids. You were already involved in that behavior. And it's like, I know a girl right now. She's kind of like in that lifestyle. Very smart, well-spoken. She's awesome. Oh, she was in her own place. There she goes. I thought she was.
Yeah. No.
No. I saw her in a video where she was on a yacht.
On a yacht, yeah.
She was on a yacht. But the point is, she died. Drugs were involved, right? She was in the bathroom, in the bedroom, right? Drugs were involved. When there's drugs involved, there's always room for all these different theories, right? But the white guy found her. He calls the police. Who kills you and then says, let me call the police and say, oh, you died? The chick OD'd. And then the guy called the cops, and now the blame is getting put on him. It's the same thing that happened with Whitney Houston's daughter when she OD'd, and then they tried to blame the boyfriend for killing her. And that's what it always is. If an African-American woman makes a mistake and accidentally hits the Pookie too hard, suddenly someone murdered her. No one murdered that damn crackhead. She was murdered by drugs. She overdosed, and that's what the coroner found. But all of a sudden, it's a big old conspiracy. The white man, you mean the one she loved so much? The one who she wanted to go with instead of the black man? See, let me tell you something, Diners. They always say the grass is not greener on the other side. Actually, the grass is probably greener on the other side because you own the grass you own, messing the grass up. And if you go to the other side doing the same shit you was doing on that grass is going to become dull like the grass you currently standing on. She quit black man, but did she quit smoking crack? That's the question. Did she quit black man, but did she quit doing dope? See, like my grandma used to say, ain't nothing you can do. You can change your location, but if you don't change, the same things are gonna follow you wherever you go. So the only difference was she overdosed while making a concerted effort to sleep with specifically white dudes, and she OD'd. And let me tell you something. She stopped dealing with Pookie and Ray Ray because Pookie and Ray Ray probably wasn't paying for it, right? She was hoeing.
And listen. So allegedly, the white dude said that she asked for weave money.
Listen, she was a whore. She was a prostitute. That's what she was. And she stopped messing with Pookie and Ray Ray, because she decided she was tired of giving up that pussy for the free. And so she said, I'm only going to mess with Brad because Brad's willing to pay. And guess what happens with most crackheads? The more money they get, the more access they have to dope. And when they got more money, they get more dope and they can't handle it. It happens time and time again. So I don't know why there's a big conspiracy. All of a sudden, she was an angel. She was Natalie Holloway. Natalie Holloway, that angel. No, she was just a dope addict. And if her parents came to me and said, well, they killed her. No, your daughter's a crackhead and crack killed her. Just like it killed so many people. Pills killed her. Like pills killed so many people, bro. No one forced this chick to take pills. No one can force you. No one man can force you to take pills. Oh, you got to take these pills. Bro, you can't even make a baby take some medicine when they don't really want to. So all of a sudden, here's the big bad white man, the easy scapegoat to all of a sudden make her seem like posthumously, she's an angel. No, she's a drug addict. Just like the dude she was hanging around probably was drug addicts. They're the ones who probably put her up on the drugs, Pookie and Ray Ray, but then she saw greener pastures. Hey, you mean to tell me I can go mess with these white guys and have unlimited drugs? You know, women do it every single day. She wanted weave money. You think this chick was lying? You think this dude was lying? As soon as the dude said she wanted weave money, you knew he wasn't lying. Because only a black woman would go to somebody and be like, yeah, I want to screw you for weave. They're the only ones giving it up for hair pieces and frontals and stuff like that. So the guy, in my opinion, is not guilty. You got the team divestment, but the ones who divest, they're the real bums. Like this chick, she was a real bum, but she tries to do what black people do very well. They try to deflect. They try to put their own negativity and shortcomings project that onto everybody else. Oh, this is look. I'm gonna leave because you guys' drug use is too much for me, and you're a Pookie and a Ray Ray. No, she's a Pookie. But she's going to project the Pookie image and the accusations onto the black man to cover up the fact that she's a Pookie. Did the girl have a history of drug use? Yes. That means, guess what? It wasn't Pookie and Ray Ray, because once she got away from them, she continued to use drugs. So that's bullcrap, man. This chick, look, I'm sorry, she's dead. They say you don't speak ill of the other dead, but I'm a person who tells the truth. And it's obvious to see that this chick she thought she had them baby hairs on fleek, so she thought she was something special. What she needed was a black man like me to tell her that her lips were still ashy, even though she wearing 3 tons of lip gloss. See, that's the problem. People try to escape from reality. And when it's two black people, when there's two crackheads in the room, you saw New Jack City. You remember when Chris Rock, you used to be prom queen, now you just prom fiend, right? That's what they get around the black man, because the black man gonna pull him down off that high horse they trying to ride on. Like, nah, you smoke crack too. Yes, you just suck 2 dicks for a nickel sack, so you don't get ahead of yourself now. You know, okay, you can go mess with them white dudes, and then when you need $20, you're gonna be right back over here. We know how it is. This is how it goes. Hey, listen, Ed Nida Chipotle, you're disgusting. You're mad because I'm telling you the truth. Oh, I'm disgusting. Shut the hell up. You go to work every day and get sexually harassed by your boss and don't say nothing, but all of a sudden Brandon's the problem. Get the hell out of here, dude.
Guys, hit that like button. So when I start dating white men, just know I tried my hardest with you colors. This me as fuck was her response. Like, divest. When you guys say date, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean? Because
that means prostitute. That's prostitution slang for sleep with you for money. She's no longer taking black men for prostitution activities. She's only going to date white men for money, and that's exactly what she did. They pay more. We only going to pay $40 tops. They want to get $80, so they got to move on to the big leagues. Come on, don't play with me. I'm from the hood just like y'all. And let me tell you something, and this is a little bit of something, I'm gonna put a little silver lining on the Dias. If they go to Sierra Leone and they DNA don't match up and they can't get their citizenship, they can always come back to LA and be a part of 5-5 Crip with Crip Mac, all right?
You part of what?
You always got a home at
Eastside Korea.
You can always come back here and be a Crip or a Blood.
West Side Cribs.
Now they're attacking me. I'm overweight. because that chick was a crackhead, I'm fat. Dang, ain't that the way it is? Ain't that the way it is? She's a crackhead, so I'm fat. Brandon, you're horrible. I'm a bad person. I'm not the one who OD'd in my bathroom. And that's the problem with our community.
And listen. For the first time, Kasha Zulu's actually agreeing with you. For the first time.
It's the first time for
everyone. Kasha Zulu's actually agreeing with you for the first time.
Listen. No, but it's the truth. Like, why do black people do that? We try to like lift these freaking crackheads up on high, and suddenly they were amazing. Listen, Whitney Houston could sing. Whitney Houston was a crackhead. Whitney Houston can sing, but Whitney Houston was a crackhead. And Whitney Houston, I will listen to all her songs posthumously, but I'm not about to glorify Whitney Houston like she was something other than what she was. She was beautiful on A Preacher's Wife, and then she married Bobby Brown. People tarnish themselves, and then we want to remember the good. Okay, that's fine. But when someone says things like, I'm not messing with coloreds and stuff, well, what good is there at that point? What good is there at that point? And when you're divesting for all the wrong reasons, look, bro, she chose to no longer be a part of our circle. But y'all acting like I kicked her out of the damn circle. See, I'm done with that. And that's why Black America is where they are. We always trying to apologize for somebody who basically crapped all over us. I'm not doing that anymore. You take your daddy issues and your freaking low self-esteem and you go let people kick you and then put them up on high. I'm not doing that. I'm not raising my kids to do that. So y'all just going to be mad at us because we out here telling the truth. And then y'all wonder why black people with money and who doing something don't want to be bothered with you. Don't nobody want to sit up and be around nobody who apologize. I ain't going to apologize for the white man. I ain't going to apologize for no self-hater. I ain't going to apologize for no crackhead. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to apologize for no pedophile. But we sit up and talk about how we don't like these people and these people are bad. But then all of a sudden, we're trying to apologize for them. I don't know her freaking mom. Her mom could be a crackhead too. You know what I'm saying? I don't know you. All I know is what you put on social media and what you were about, which was basically bed winching and talking down on the black man. And I will say the same thing about a black man who talks down on the black woman. I'm gonna separate from him. I'm not gonna deal with him. I have a friend, Dynas. This guy doesn't take care of his kids. He got 3 boys. He don't take care of them. Don't give them a penny. I used to be best friends with this person. I cut his ass off. I am not friends with nobody who don't take care of their kids. We're not going to sit around watching the game together. We're not going to play Madden together. We're not going to do anything because I am not going to sit at the table with someone who doesn't do what's right and do what they're supposed to do. All you guys sitting up talking about how bad I am, all it means is you're a damn degenerate because you want to stick up and defend degenerates because you are a degenerate. Birds of a feather flock together. A lot of y'all on here is smoking crack right now. Let's just be real. Nobody wants to get deeper than somebody who's lighting up the pookie pipe. So y'all probably on here smoking crack right now and hating on me. No, you look in the mirror. When you look at her, you see a reflection of yourself. When I look at her, I see a damn crackhead. I see the little crackhead dude off of New Jack City. That's all I see. That's all I see.
Chris Rock.
That's all I see. But y'all look at her and say, "Oh, I see myself." Yep, because you a damn crackhead.
All right, guys, we're gonna open up the lines. If you'd like to call in, no, RPC. This is the issue. So whenever we go, okay, so you had the brother Bakari Henderson in Greece, all right, who passed away in Greece for approaching white women. Divestment was all over him. You got another story of a black football player, Vince Wilfork, whose white spouse was calling him the N-word. Y'all would all over on him. But whenever it comes to black women who are divesting and they catch L's, all of a sudden it's like, why y'all talking about this person? Why y'all talking about that person?
Listen.
No, I'm just, again, let's get back to the topic. Is team divestment really winning? Or are they catching L's?
They're losing. And let me tell you something. Nobody complains about the rules more than the person who's losing. Nobody's arguing with the refs unless they're losing. If you're up by 50, the refs are doing a great job. If you're down by 50, the refs are horrible. They need to be fired. The league needs to replay the footage and see where the calls were inconsistent. That's the problem. That's the problem. Black people are losing, and now they're complaining. When it came to the war on drugs and all stuff, oh, the war on drugs. Dude, we literally voted for the person who started the war on, like, they made the war on drugs, and then Clinton made the war on drugs even tougher. We voted for the guy who enhanced the war on drugs because we were like, we don't like drugs. Remember push hope into their brains instead of drugs into their veins. We were the number one people against drugs back in the 90s, right? Jesse Jackson and all those little coons, right? Yeah. Now, but then when we realized that we were secretly crackheads, all of a sudden we trying to be like, oh, you gotta have sympathy for addicts and all that stuff. You gonna say people are like, we're dragging addicts. How is this constructive? How does this fix anything? Let me tell you, RP, you're Black. You can't fix anything in America. America is a white person's country, and all these problems are white people's problems. All you could do is make sure when the pee come out, it don't hit you. If R. Kelly start pissing, you better move out the way. You can't sit there and be a human shield. Well, how does this help? No. When I see pee, I move. When I see a crack pipe, I walk out the room. Simple as that. I've been around dope addicts, and I sat on the couch with some dudes, and they start lighting up that pookie. But guess what? All I did is say, bro, I'm out. I'm not about that. You start smelling that funny crack cocaine smell, you just be like, I'm gone. So I got to feel bad because you decided to sit there and start hitting the pipe. No, I'm not doing that. My own aunt was on drugs for 20 years, bro. I used to see her on the street tripping. I walk past her, how you doing? Love you. Give her a kiss on cheek and keep it moving, dog. Because guess what? I couldn't fix her problems. She could only fix her problems when she was ready to quit. And that might have took 20 years, but now she's been clean for 10. Where you don't fix this by sitting up showing sympathy to somebody who wants to get high. You fix this by keep moving forward with your life. And if they want to be a part of that, they better fix things. They better get themselves together. I'm not sitting up wasting a second on somebody who's not doing the things that everyone else is doing. It's like you sitting up talking to somebody who don't want to get a job. Bro, that's not something special, getting a damn job. Everybody's working. So why am I going to sit and waste time like, oh, they can't get a job? Because not anybody can get a job. They don't want a damn job. Anybody can stop doing drugs. They don't want to. I know. I've been around some real stuff down crackheads. Like, they want to get high. So why am I going to feel sorry for that?
Guys, hit that like button again, please. Hit the like button. In 2022, you guys should know to hit the damn like button. All right, Alan R.V. Brown, go ahead.
Hey, how you doing? Quickly, when Stephon Clark was shot in Sacramento,
he had an Asian wife or something.
He had an Asian wife, and he said black women bring dark days on social media, and all the black women gathered up and said that we're not supporting him. Cynthia G ran with that for a week. I want these women to have the same energy for this chick now. She came out and she said what she said, and not only that, she backed up with actions. She called us racial names, black men racial names, and went out and got herself a white guy, screwed him on the first night that she met him on Bumble, and then ended up getting killed by her own actions because she was having hot girl summer. Let's keep it real. That's what happened. That's what she did. She is not innocent. I feel bad for her parents because clearly her parents did not know the kind of lifestyle she was living.
No, they knew.
Hold on. Let me interject.
When your kid's a crackhead. When your kid's a crackhead, bro.
But Brandon, no. So before like all the details got released in regards to she met dude on Bumble, her brother was like that. It was a business meeting. Like she was meeting with him, the guy, to discuss business opportunities.
She's a liar. She was a prostitute.
That's business.
That is a business.
That's business. It's the oldest business.
Services. That's it. She was, bro. Who's on Bumble, fam? Hookers. Who's on Tinder? Hookers. Come on. Why do men act like we don't know? Why do women act like they don't know where they selling their coochie at? We know. Everyone knows. It's not a secret. Backpage.com was not a place where you go and get paper. It wasn't safe. Right. We know where y'all look, the jig is up. We know y'all selling coochie on the internet. I don't know if that's a shock to you, but we know. And so you can't lie about it. She was meeting up with that dude to exchange sex for money. She probably used drugs to deal with it psychologically because that does take a toll, and she overdosed. Or the dude probably brought her some stuff that she couldn't handle. Hey, look, this that kill right here, and it killed her ass. And I'm not gonna buy this. Her parents didn't know. You know your kid's a crackhead, bro.
I will respectfully disagree with that. I think kids can hide things from their parents. When you send
your daughter $300 and it's gone in one day, she's on crack. The parents will look. It's all about plausible deniability, bro. And nobody does that better than black people. We love pretending like we didn't know some shit.
All right. Well, I agree. We agree that she was the problem, and I think her brother knew. I honestly feel her brother knew.
Alan, listen. Creepy Uncle Jerry been touching the kids for 25 years. When he get revealed, everybody act like they don't know. We all knew, bro. Mama knew. Everybody knew. We're not. Listen. Black people love talking about how smart we are. And we black, we look at each other. We the only two black people in the room and get out now like, yeah, you know what's up. Yeah, I know what's up too. We all know what's up. Her mama knew she was a dope addict. And you know what they did? They was apologizing. Daddy probably was like, that's my baby. You know, I don't want to talk down on her. We're not judging Lauren. She's just going through a phase. Same way when my auntie was on crack and my grandma sat up and tried to play plausible deniability. Just like when my uncle was out robbing and my grandma tried to play like she didn't know. She knew. But they didn't know. No, they raised a crackhead, bro. That's just the way it is. Maybe she was too entitled. Maybe she felt like the world owed her something. She was out there hanging with the wrong crowd, got on that dope. This story plays out over and over again in our community, but we always come and act like it's something to do. Where are we? I don't know where I am. No, I know exactly where we are. She was a crackhead. She overdosed. Parents, plausible deniability. Brother knew she was on dope. Oh, she was on
absolutely did.
Oh no, she was hoeing. That's it. A crackhead.
Yeah. No, they found $1,500 worth of cash stashed away there. You know, and she asked for additional $40 for weave and nails.
$40. Hey, listen, that's why she switched from black dudes because if
but we can't get weave and nails done for $40.
No, I think it was nails. I think it was nails that she was asking about.
Listen, the $40. Let me tell you guys something. Come on, y'all. We've done this before. The $40 was for weed. I'm telling you.
So Brandon, let me interject. So basically, okay, if you're a divester, you're more than welcome to call in. So divestors are leaving Pookie and Ray Ray because they can get $40 for their nails from Brad. Is that what I'm is all this over 40? All this over? Because when I was in LA, I would see these divestors. They just look bummy and they were catching L. So I'm just like, what is the purpose of just
because
yourself through this? Go ahead.
Look, divestors don't do well because when you divest, you're going from being a person who's actually a candidate for marriage in a serious relationship to being a person who's just a straight bust down. You're a throwaway. You don't want to be a black man's queen. You want to be a white man's side hoe. So a side hoe is always going to struggle. She can never look better than your main chick. So they put these weaves in their head. They can't even afford to maintain these weaves. Right? But that's why they walk around with the weave looking a mess half the time. Because when they do get the weave, when they start looking a little bit run down, they got to go beg, borrow, and steal to go get another one put in. And so when the dude said $1,500, that's why she left the black man and stopped prostituting herself to the black man. Because if she was messing with black dudes, all they would have found was $40.
She was not attracted to that man. She clearly was there.
She wasn't even that cute. She wasn't even that cute.
Brandon, she was cute.
Brandon, she was a good looking girl.
Hold on. Let me interject. Hold on, Brandon. Okay, I would say this. When I saw pictures of her without the weave and the makeup, you're right. She was fine. But with the weave and the makeup, she was cute.
Listen. What I'm talking about is this. In our community, we got some fine ass sisters out here. So in a white man's eyes, with all that weave and the slick down edges and stuff, that's like something super special. In a black man's eyes, we like, yeah, baby, you real cute, but there's 1,000 beautiful black women in the hood, right? So that's what I'm saying. She wasn't even, her looks didn't even match her attitude. Like she wasn't, look, there's a few women who can have that type of attitude.
You muted, Brandon, you muted.
Yeah, Brandon, you muted.
You muted, Brandon.
There's a few women who could have that attitude and walk around like they stuff don't stink, right? There's some women who could do that. She wasn't one of those women. Look, putting an angle on a pic and putting lip gloss on and slicking down baby hairs. I'm sorry, baby, but that doesn't impress me. That doesn't make you beautiful. when I see you and you ain't got no weave in your head and you wake up and you got that spit wrapped around the front of your face to the back of your head and you still look bomb, now you're very beautiful to me. Anybody could put on some makeup and look okay. I'm just saying they can make anybody look good with makeup and a wig.
Facts.
That's
Facts.
it. She's good. She's all right. She was
Well,
okay.
I want to say this. I feel bad for her family because how they were treated after they found her body dead. They didn't even inform them on time. They they had to find out through other means, and then they had to call the police, and the police were telling them not to call up. They didn't investigate. They walk into the apartment, they find the condom, the used condom, and all the stuff because the police knew what it was.
The used condom. She didn't even flush the condom.
Yeah, no.
Let me tell you something. Let's put this in real perspective, brother Allen. Look, bro, this woman, you know why they couldn't inform the police, the parents? Because the parents probably cut this chick off. They probably cut her off. So they probably were like not in her life like that. Like when my aunt was on drugs, you couldn't contact us regarding her because one, she was living the wild lifestyle. So she didn't want to interact with us on a regular basis. So she purposely isolated herself. We all have those family members. They be out here involved in different stuff, or they just feel like they better than everybody and they don't come around. I have several cousins like that. I got sisters like that. If they die, it's going to take them a week or so to contact their parents and stuff like that. Why? Because they don't have a close mom. She wasn't going to her mom's house every day. She wasn't going to visit her dad every day. She was a divester. When someone gets to the point where they start talking about, I'm going against black men, they're not just divesting from black men. They're divesting from black society. And they only deal with the black people who are the closest to them. You got a dad. You have a father in your life talking about, I'm divesting from black men. That woman was not around her parents like that. And that's why it took long for them to contact her.
Yeah. I mean, you could be right. But at the same time, they, when the family called up for information and the way they left the supposed crime scene and never collecting any evidence and things like that, and for the family to find the lube and the used condoms sitting around, and the money and all that stuff like that, that was that was not very professional. And if they had handled it more professionally, there would be no questions at all.
What did you say wasn't professional? Tell me again.
It wasn't professional because they left all the evidence behind for the family to find. In other words, you had the used condom sitting there. You had the lube. Nothing was collected. The pills were still there. None of the stuff was collected.
Bro,
that was, and that's the only reason why we're even here dealing with this, because they didn't treat the scene properly. They just came in there, took the white guy's word for it, said it was open and shut. Now it is open and shut case, and I believe the white guy is innocent. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, they did not handle the scene like they would if it was, let's say, a white woman. That's the reason why we're even in this mess talking about this.
Listen, let me tell you something, brother. I understand what you're saying, right? They didn't handle the scene properly. We don't know the details of what happened when they went there and talked to the white man. Let's pretend like I'm a white trick John, right? Mm-hmm. I walk in, some chick is dead on the floor. Police, I call the cops. He didn't have to do that because I probably just walked away. I probably just left. Look, so he calls the cops. Cops get there. He stays till the cops come. First of all, if someone kills somebody, they're not staying for the cops to show up. They're going to leave like she was alive when I left. Also, all he got to do is show his phone. Look, man, I just met this chick. I came to buy some pussy. She was doing drugs. Then she died. That's it. They looked at the phone. Look, man, his story checks out. It don't look like she was strangled or raped or nothing like that, which these people can see that. These detectives and stuff know when they just looking at it, see, there's no signs of struggle. Here goes the pills. She took the pills. Right. It looked like he was forcing the pills down her throat. They're going to let that dude walk away. All of a sudden, they're supposed to go against their procedures because we have a suspicion surrounding the death of a crackhead, bro. If the police did that, do you know they would have no time or resources to deal with anything else? That's like police investigating gang shootings. They stopped doing that because they're like, bro, it's so many shootings.
In Chicago now, it's called mutual combat.
Yeah, they like that. Hey, when listen, there's a saying, right, between pimps, right? I'm not a pimp, right? I'm not a pimp. But they say what's understood doesn't need to be explained. When they went, look, if I was a cockroach on the wall, Brandon, you see what's going on? I see exactly what's happening here. I could deduce what happened in that situation in 2 seconds. So what do you
You're
think
right.
Detective sees?
No, you're
Hold
absolutely right.
on 1 second. Hey, Donita, whatever your name is, call in. In fact, Ruby, you guys call in.
They're not gonna call in because they don't want to. They don't want to face the reality of what's going on. Y'all selling coochie on the internet. Y'all getting high, and y'all hiding it. Trust me. You think I don't know when my cousin disappears for 3 days straight, and we hitting her and calling her phone, and we think she dead, and my grandma's like, "Oh, I'm about to report her missing." Then all of a sudden she pop up like, "Here I am." You think I don't know what she was doing? She was hoeing. So she go home in secret. So she disappears for a couple of days. Y'all know what y'all do. Why do black women act like we don't know what they do? Y'all disappear, go make some money on the side. Y'all go up to the local y'all go to Atlantic City. If you're in Long Beach, you go out to LA or you go out to Las Vegas for a couple of days and you go sell that cootie cat, and then you come back and then you blow all the money in a week, and then you out here asking for $40 for your light bill. This is what they do. It's nothing wrong with it. I'm not judging you. It's your coochie. Go do whatever you want to. I might even buy some if I'm in a desperate mood, but I'm not about to sit here and play games with you, though. I'm not going to play those games. Like, we know what's going on.
You telling the truth, man, but you said it in a very harsh way.
I got links in the chat room. If you'd like to call in, please click the link. Link is in the chat room.
One curse word or derogatory term.
I didn't say you did. I said you said it in a harsh way.
Hey guys, hit that like button. Please hit the like button as you come to the chat room.
I didn't say you did, but
hit that like button.
Love talking about who does that. You live in LA, your friends do it.
We can't paint all black women with this, but this woman clearly was that, and that's all I can say.
And this the only woman we talking to, and then her sister who do the same thing. The Bible says, "And you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." So if you didn't know, now you know. Now you've been freed. You can thank me later or not thank me at all, dude. I'm giving you liberty, right? I'm giving you the truth. Your mama wouldn't tell you, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you. Your daddy wasn't shit, so I'm gonna tell you. Look, there are women who sell that thing for money on the internet. There are women who walk down the street and sell that thing for money. There are women walking through the grocery store with booty shorts on, who, if you approach them, they'll probably give you head in the parking lot. I'm just saying, why are we acting like this is something strange? There's dudes out here doing gay stuff, getting hit in the booty. Everything. We can't pretend like that doesn't exist. When you go to jail, there's some dude who might want to toss your salad with jelly. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to pretend like that's not happening. It is. Your boyfriend went to jail. He came out of jail. Now he got a little extra switch in his wall. We all know what happened. Where does denial get us? Denial is the worst coping mechanism there is. Cognitive bias, the worst thing there is. But we live in a state of cognitive bias. We dwell there as black people, and we love to pretend to be surprised.
Oh man, it's Hustle Smart in the chat room. Hustle Smart. If you're in the chat room, Hustle Smart.
He's gonna go
Hustle
crazy.
Smart. Hey, Hustle Smart. If you're in the chat room, Hustle Smart. I need Hustle Smart to call in.
If they think I'm bad,
hey, Chaos Rain. The link's in the chat room. Chaos Rain. I need you to call in too. I definitely know you got something to say about this. But Hustle Smart. If you in the chat room, click the link, bro. Hop in. All right, go ahead.
They think I'm mean. Hustle Smart go come here and burn this whole down.
Yeah, no, I mean she doesn't need to be burnt down because the toxicology report told the story. You know, you can't, you know, it's like the eye in the sky don't lie when you play football. You know, the toxicology report told the story.
Am I in the chat?
Yeah, you're in the chat, Grim. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Hi, yes, good night. Also, I've been looking into the story about this girl, Smith, and they said they found drugs in her system. I was researching the drugs, and the drugs are, 2 of them, I found them to be sedatives. So there might be a possibility that she was drugged too. So, yeah.
So, can I speak? I can speak to this. I work as an EMT. Yeah. You know, fentanyl is been used in drugs for years to stretch drugs. So she very well could have been taking something she didn't know she was taking, but yet still she was part of the drug culture, and that's what ended up, you know, getting her caught up. Fentanyl is enough to kill anybody. It doesn't take much of it. So that's probably what killed her.
Fentanyl is the opioid one, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I know the other 2 was a sedative, so I don't know It might be a possibility that she was drugged too.
Not with I mean, listen, anything's possible, but the fentanyl, like I said, is enough to kill anybody. You can kill an elephant with fentanyl.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Listen, who's doing fentanyl? White people, opioids. She wanted to go be amongst them, right? So she died from what they use. Everything's laced with fentanyl nowadays. But why? This is my thing. Why do I have to give special reverence to this crackhead? Like, I'm not doing that. Like, where does that take us as a people? Black women. I want to ask a question to the sisters, and they've been given the link, but they don't want to click it because they don't want to come over here and get this truth. Where does it take you sitting up, bowing at the altar of some dope fiend? It doesn't take you anywhere. You might as well take back your crackhead baby daddy if you're about to sit up and talk about this shit. I'm just telling you. You sit up. Ike Turner, he was on drugs. Guess what you did? You went from telling Tina to leave Ike because he was on dope to sitting up trying to deify and worship crackheads. Does that make sense? I just want consistency on this. Are we worshiping these crackheads or not?
Well, if there was any evidence that she was actually being drugged, I would defend her. But there's zero evidence to point to her being drugged. The thing is pretty much open and shut. The way it worked out, she drank copious amounts of tequila, mixed it with fentanyl. She lost her ability to breathe with the depressant, and she died.
Right.
It's pretty simple.
Real quick, KO's ring. Go ahead, brother. Hold on, KO's ring.
Hello, what's good, man? You summon me, Dynus?
I summon you, bro. I definitely know you got something to say about this.
Well, I covered this on a call show I did, but I'll say this personally that it is very much weird and suspect of her death, but let's be honest. The way how they rule it out, especially upper north, this is something they're trying to sweep under the rug, that the parents are trying to look for answers. But I will say this, Dynus. Isn't it ironic only the black men have to speak about this now that there's action taken? You don't hear all these other divestors talked about this. Have you?
No. Listen, Mikhail, when divestors can't divest, because it goes against the narrative. Narrative is black men ain't shit. Black men killing black women. Get your white man. You're safe. And so when they stand, because I mean, this is you had DJ Kid.
Mm-hmm.
You had
the guy from Florida. The guy from Florida that infected with AIDS. Yes.
Right. You have so many examples of this, but when it happens, they quiet. They don't say nothing. They quiet. And then, like I said, when I was in LA, these divestors look so dusty. Staying in their studio apartments, barely can't pay rent, bad movies. It's like, I mean, Brad, am I lying, Brian? Brad, am I lying? These divestors in LA, they got a specific look. The weed is bad. They stay, in dusty studio apartments, but they want to tell you they win it.
Bro, they listen. You want to find black women who divest? Go to Figueroa, dude. They won't even sleep with a black man for money. I don't mess with black men. They'll tell you that in a minute. Those are divestors. They dusty. Bro, you got Letty Pat talking about she could have been drugged. Y'all don't know, and neither do you.
But bro, they fucking Dusty Brad.
Listen, no, they found the pills in her house. How do you get drugged with pills in your own house? That doesn't make sense. She was drugged, Letty Pat. She was drugged by herself. It's called an overdose. Like, I'm not about to play with y'all. You know what I like watching? I like watching court shows. I like watching Judge Mathis. And one thing you'll know about these old black men who are judges, they don't play stupid little games. Women will sit up and try to plausible deniability your ass. Well, it could have been. Remember, look, let me tell you this. Tell us how many times you see a dude, right? One of your friends, he hanging around some girl. You go up to the girl like, yo, y'all messing around? We ain't messing around. I don't like him. He's just my friend. Next thing, she pregnant by the dude. Women will step and lie like a rug. Women will lie like a damn rug about things that they don't even got to lie about. But all of a sudden, these chicks are holier than thou. I'm not doing that. Because how do y'all come up pregnant mysteriously by Pookie after y'all been denying screwing them for 6 months? Dynus, am I lying or am I telling the truth?
Telling the truth.
Y'all lie all the time, and it's okay. Men lie too. Only difference is men when we lie, shit, we lied about it. All right, you got me. You got me. Women will go to their damn grave. I watched the paternity court. Listen, the mom was dead. The girl was in court trying to find out who her daddy was. Brought 3 different dudes. None of them was the daddy. The auntie passed out in the courtroom talking about she can't believe her sister lied to her for her whole life. What? Don't play with me. This lady was a crackhead. She overdosed on pills and snorting perks, right? Because you could snort that too. And the police knew what it was. Everybody knew what it was. Now the no good mama and the daddy trying to talk about, oh, they disrespected us for attention and trying to see if they can salvage some money out of it. Because like typical black people, a check is worth more than your own kid's life. Can we at least get a check? Why you didn't have her life insurance paid up? See, because they were not around her. They were not, her and her parents were not interacting on a day-to-day basis. She divested, not only from black men, but really from black society. Now we got to feel sorry for her. No, let them white folks feel sorry for her. That's what she wanted to be with.
Go ahead, Gina.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's kind of low, but go ahead.
All right, let me try to turn that up. Can you hear?
That's better. It's like you sound real soft. Like
I'm so sorry.
You know,
I'm so
like,
sorry.
It sound nice, but we all know it's a dragon about to jump out of that microphone.
Yeah, go ahead, Gina. Go ahead.
How you doing, Brandon? Nice to see you. Okay, so I just wanted to come on here because I wanted to say that this is an opportunity for Black men, our brothers. And I'm not like, I know there's a lot of sisters that don't believe in Black men and don't really see their worth or appreciate their worth anymore.
But you know what, Gina, not to cut you off, I don't like me, Brandon, like we don't care about them. But go ahead, Gina. But go ahead.
Okay, so
I mean, we don't care. Like
I know.
I see, but it's like if somebody doesn't care about you and they're still losing, like they're not winning, and they're trying to pretend like they're winning, but they're losing. Like they don't care. But go ahead, Gina.
Where's that getting us, though? I mean, us not caring about each other. Where does that get us, though?
Go ahead. You have a point.
No. We care. We care. That's why we're trying to tell our women, stop letting these people put you through the emotional roller coaster over people who don't care about you. See, if this is all about caring, right? And I want everybody on this panel right here. You got men on this panel, and then you have Gina, right? And I'm going to ask everybody a simple question, and y'all can answer this. If you had to guess whether or not this crackhead chick cared about you personally, would you assume that she cared about you or she didn't give a damn about you? Dinus, you go first.
Can I finish my statement, Brandon?
Let this sister finish.
But she said we got to act like we care. So
I didn't say that. He said that I was responding to him. Can I finish my comment?
Go ahead.
I appreciate it. Okay, so like I was about to say, this is a good opportunity. I see 4 Black men on this panel. Yes, I agree with you 100%. If the facts are what they are, if there was no tampering, if this woman was living the lifestyle that she lived, it's unfortunate, it's deplorable, and it's definitely not something that we would want.
Do you know that part of Bridgeport, Connecticut is the poorest part of Connecticut? Are you aware of this, man?
I'm sorry, I didn't even hear that because you were yelling.
I think you should let her finish speaking, and
let her finish.
You should really hear her point out.
Let her finish. Yeah, let her finish. Go ahead, Gina. Go ahead.
I think, again, I'm going to go back to say it's a great opportunity for you guys to really look at the situation. Yes, this woman may have been all those things that you said she was, and she wasn't all the things that she should have been, and made a lot of poor choices. I'm not sure of her history. We all have history. Some of us have good history. Some of us have bad history. And sometimes in our adult, lives, we make decisions based on those histories. I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying it is what it is. And I'm agreeing with Brandon there's a lot of negative things out there on both sides. Okay, so that being said, this is another opportunity for Black men to speak on the things that would have stopped this from happening instead of harking.
There's no stopping that.
instead of harking
Can we
on.
just let her finish, please?
Go ahead, Gina. Sorry. Go ahead.
I think that you're right on every way. We are derailed as a people on both sides. But I don't think the way we are handling it as a people, where we just come on our little soapboxes and just start tearing each other up, is getting us anywhere. It's breaking my heart because you know why? We all are in a position as people that come on social media to. I'm sorry, it's echoing, and I'm sorry, I don't know why.
No, go ahead.
To try to turn things around, and I think it's our responsibility to do so. Yes, we out that this person made very bad decisions, fucked up decisions that left her family without her. But what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Are we gonna spew that, or are we gonna talk about what needs to happen in our community?
But Gina, we have to understand, like, even in the chat room, and like I said, you have the right to divest. You have the right, but the thing is, the purpose of this conversation is like, look, we gotta have this conversation once or twice a year. The grass is not always greener. But again, go and divest. But I can't spend energy trying to convince all my energy trying to convince the divestor when I got good sisters that I need to pour into already.
Can we really point some of the reasons or some of the facts or some of the underscore reasons that we are where we are right now? Let's just leave it on women. We know that this stuff goes on for men too, but let's just focus on women. What are the underscore reasons, and how could you just
That is
over all women when that's not true?
well, okay. So I want to address that. If you want to go through the underlying cause is a lot of these the social media influencers, the many rappers and how they influenced women. She clearly took her cue from that lifestyle.
Yeah.
And so that was what was reflected there. She was having hot girl summer. She was going ahead and she was, like a girl. So that is why you saw what you saw. But we can't address causes without calling some people out. And this young lady is a cautionary that we should warn us, but we should also take opportunities to learn from the situation and to check our culture and specifically check the culture that a lot of our women are following.
Okay, thank you. I agree.
I want to say something here. Look, I just want to say the biggest issue where this is flawed is the fact that we're pretending like this is our problem. She's not the black community's problem anymore. Once you let people know that you no longer want to be a part of the black community, you're no longer our problem. We're forcing ourselves to deal with problems that are no longer our problem. If I say I'm not dealing with black people anymore, I don't care about black people, forget black people. This is like, okay, if somebody like Thomas Sowell or like Ben Carson or something died or something, black people wouldn't even care because they'll be like, oh, he was a sellout. He was a sellout. What's his name? The dude who ran for governor in Larry Elder. He was a sellout. He's not our problem, right? But then when it's a crackhead who's a sellout who happens to be female, all of a sudden, oh, she was just playing, man. She was like, it's like Debo. Oh, man, he was just playing. No, Big Worm. He was just playing. You said he had a gun, right? Do you know anybody who played like that? Nah, man, that's us. We smoke you. We think everything's a joke. We don't take anything serious. When people take shots at our people and our culture, we still want to try to give them a hug. The chick is a crackhead who died, who is white people's problem, because that's the decision she made for herself. I'm not about to waste 1 second feeling sorry for her, period. And if she was a man, nobody would care unless the police killed him. It would just be like, oh, that guy died. He's a crackhead, whatever. He died. What I'm going to do is I'm going to focus my energy on the people who actually are a part of making things happen in our community. Look at our comments. Look how many black women are attacking me and putting me down. I'm on your side, but you're attacking me for talking disparagingly about someone who was totally against you. So now you're attacking your ally to try to pretend to sympathize with your enemy. That's the dysfunction. And let me tell you something else. Oh, why are we losing? Why is this happening? You know why? We lack submission. Submission is not something that just women need to do. Submission is something that every dumbass who's a part of Black society needs to learn how to do. Stop thinking you know everything and listen to somebody who knows something. If that chick would have stopped thinking she knew everything, listen to her daddy and her mama, and I'm sure they could have guided her better than she guided herself. Listen to her brother. I'm sure he could have guided her better than she could guide herself. Because if I was a person who had a problem with drugs, you know what they do when you go to church and a big Black woman with the freaking jelly rolls underneath her arms, flapping, get up there and put her arms up. She surrenders. I'm surrendering to the Lord. I'm going to let the Lord guide my decisions. Yolanda Adams, I open up my heart. Take me whichever direction you want me to go. There's a part of our society that really needs to do that, but we need to do that with responsible people in our community. She was not qualified to really control her own life. That's why her life was out of control. Just like my aunt when she was a crackhead, just like my uncle when he was a crackhead. They couldn't control their lives anymore. And instead of surrendering to someone who was better able to navigate their life than they could, they refused to do it. And men do it and women do it. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to divest. I'm going to divest from crackheads and people who are obsessed with doing self-destructive practices. Because if I don't divest from those people, I'm going to end up right beside them. You think that you're going to go in and if you wear a white suit and somebody got a dirty suit with doo-doo on it, if you go and hug them, do you think your clean is going to rub off on them or their dirt is going to rub off on you? It's a simple equation when you remove your emotions from it. And that's all I want to say about it.
My thing is this. We had Malcolm X, right? When you think about Malcolm X, he did all those things that we are talking about right now. He was on drugs. He was fucking around. Excuse my language. Sorry. He was messing around with white women. He got himself locked up because of it. But guess what he did? He turned himself around. I'm like, do we really give up on each other like that over things like that? I mean, we understand that there's a root to things. Are we not interested in the root issue? Because we're raising children and little girls and little boys. They're not going to always be good on the good side. So does that mean that we give up on the people that we feel like don't cut it?
No, we don't give up on them.
Hey, Alan, wait, let me say this.
She didn't deserve to die.
Wait.
No, she didn't. We're not saying she did. Of course she did.
No, now we're conflating two different issues. But look, Alan, this is all I want to say. We brought up Malcolm X. What's the first thing Malcolm X did to change his life? Everybody on here knows what he did. He realized that he was not qualified to run his life. He surrendered to the Nation of Islam in prison. He submitted to the will of Elijah Muhammad. Remember, he said it was like he was standing in the room with me. And then I started studying, and he started listening to Elijah Muhammad's words, and Elijah Muhammad's words became his law. He no longer lived based on his own law and made his own choices. He now submitted his life to Elijah Muhammad. So no matter what we say and how much emotion we throw onto it, there's only one cure for what's going on with our people: submission to a will and an understanding that is greater than yours. I'm not saying this in a spookish way. I'm saying this, your mama might got good advice that you should be following. Your daddy, your auntie, your cousin, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife could have a superior understanding to you. But until you learn to be submissive and understand that the man who rejects correction is a fool, then you always going to be in a situation where you're constantly lamenting your situation in life. And I'm not about that anymore. I'm sorry, Alan, go ahead.
No, what I was trying to say was that she's a cautionary tale, because the fact of the matter is, in life, not everybody makes it back. Yes, people can venture out and do bad things, go about doing those things, but this idea that we give up on them, this person unfortunately didn't make it back, so there's nothing to fight for anymore. Especially now that we know the facts. She had made a choice, fortunate, and so what I teach kids, and my job is that yes, these people they do things, but you're not guaranteed to make it back like Malcolm. there are going to be a lot more people who are going to end up like her.
I have a question though. I also heard that there was blood found in your apartment. Can drugs cause blood to come out in your mouth or nose? Those
Oh,
types of
absolutely.
drugs?
The fentanyl
Yeah.
can. Fentanyl can. Absolutely.
Oh,
And plus,
fentanyl can.
and plus you got to factor in, she was drinking copious amounts of tequila on top of the drugs.
Oh, okay. Mm.
She was basically
And
walking down tequila.
the
So she was asked. Unfortunately, she was asking to die.
She was out of control, bro. Her life was off the rails. And the sad thing is this. She talked about all the divesting, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. If I look at what she said, it kind of seemed like she said that in a joking way. It didn't seem like she was like really serious. It seemed like she was kind of just talking trash. I've done that before too. But the problem is when you say things like that, it affects the way people look at you. And so I'm not saying the chick deserved to die, but I'm just telling you there's a heavy level of submission that's necessary in our community that nobody wants to realize. Nobody wants to submit to a superior knowledge and intellect or to a superior way of doing things. They want to control their own life. So if we submit to this idea that people should be in charge of their own life, don't tell me that I can't tell someone what to do, but I have to feel sorry for them when their actions cause them to meet their untimely demise. I'm not worried about this. I'm not. And if you're wasting 2 seconds thinking about this, you're feeling sorry for, you're off, you're not on code. You're off code. Because we cannot let the Bible says, let the dead bury the dead. So why is your living ass worried about what some dead crackhead is doing? Forget that.
All right, Gina, then Last Zulu. Go ahead, Gina.
It's funny because while you were talking, I was sitting back and I was just like going through my mind. Because you see, I like to think of compare some of the mistakes that I've made in my life in comparison to mistakes other people make. And no, I've never been on drugs, but I've made poor decisions. And
Gina, not to cut you off, I made poor decisions too, but it's just I think like with
Yeah.
me, when I made my poor decisions, I didn't get kitty gloves. Like I got people like Brandon. Like, what the hell you doing? What the hell's wrong with you? You know, it's just we gotta stop. It's like when people it's just we gotta stop with the kitty gloves.
so let me ask you something. Going to what you just said about stopping with the kitty gloves.
Right.
Why do you think this happened? I mean, like all the negativity aside, all the she sold out aside, why
Right.
do you think her mind was where it was? I just want to know if you guys are even
Like Alan said, and I passed it to Lance Zulu. It's media, it's social media, it's this you have these platforms who have an agenda that are pushing, to live a certain lifestyle.
Yeah.
And what I've been saying, and I say like maybe once or twice a year, listen, I have witnessed this on both sides.
Yeah.
People who think the grass is greener on the other side of the fence are usually worse off. And if you don't believe me, go to Los Angeles, California. I'm telling you, these divestors look so bad and down, but they won't admit, like me, when I messed up, when I make mistakes, I hold myself accountable. People hold me accountable. These divestors, they refuse to speak out or hold themselves accountable and say, you know what, I made a mistake. It's not that good over here.
Okay, so let me ask you something, and I'm sorry, I know you gotta go last.
No, go ahead.
Okay, do you think this is more a thing that because I see a lot of people, when I was first listening to this, it was about her rejection of Black men, her turning her back on Black men. Do you really believe that that was what it is? Because I need you to understand something. And I want to say this on this panel because there's a lot of Black men and a lot of Black men in the comment section that feel that way. Black women can never naturally reject Black men. Black women are made to reject Black men because that is where they're pushed to. And that makes a lot of sense with the drugs, with the whatever, because when you go into a lifestyle where you have to resent or turn your back on yourself, and the Black man is ourself, your mind goes with that. And you have to either become someone outside of yourself, or don't ever be sober enough to deal with yourself. So when you see little black girls giving up on black men, it's because the like you said earlier, Dinah, or someone said on here, what's being put out there is making it seem like there's nothing else to do but give up on black men, because black men are speaking a tone of, we don't need you no more.
Uh,
No.
I don't think so. I
agree with-
disagree with that heavy.
We don't care about you. The first thing I heard was, we don't care about people like that. And you know what? In your music, you make her to be that person. In your raps, in your music, in the way
But
that you
who
women,
controls
the
that
way
music though? We don't control the music.
way
Those
that
people
you
that sing on the
women,
record label sing, they are employees. They are not.
we
Some
don't see.
some artists songs don't even get put on until it starts singing about gang culture. That's how controlled the industry is.
Hold on,
Unless
but
you are
let me interject real quick, and then then I'm gonna pass it to the last. But this is the problem, you know. I understand about the music, but when I go into a club, when I go into a bar, it's not the men dancing to the music; it's the women. In fact, there was a story. In fact, you can look it up online. There's this brother, black man, who opened up a brand new restaurant in Dallas, Texas. Music came on. Who was the main one dancing and twerking to it? The brother said, "Can you please stop?" Now, hear me. The brother said, "Can you please stop acting this way in my restaurant?" They got an attitude, refused, then he put them out, and they still mad. So again, it's a lack of accountability. Right now, if somebody placed a crack pipe in front of me, I'm gonna say, no, I'm not gonna smoke it. I'm not gonna blame the music. I'm not gonna blame the lyrics. If I get upset at another black man, I'm not gonna pull out a gun and shoot him. And then, or if I do shoot him, it's like we could blame the music. It's the music. It's the music. It's just a lack of discipline and accountability. And it's just no one wants to hold themselves accountable for nothing these days.
Hey, shout out to Kazam Way in the comments. I saw your past two comments. I just didn't want to interrupt, bro. Thank you for watching. And I'm gonna actually call you later on. Have a safe day, bro. Hey, the whole thing is this, Dinus. Okay, say I'm a crackhead, right? And I'm up in the crack house, and there's other crackheads up in there. And I'm like, yo, I'm divesting from you crackheads. I'm not dealing with you crackheads anymore. Part of me no longer dealing with those people means what? I'm no longer gonna do practice the behavior that associated or tied me with those people. I can't divest from crackheads and crack use if I just go somewhere else and use crack. So when this chick said she was divesting from black men, right? That wasn't like, yo, she's forced to do that. She said, so she went over to white men. When you divest, well, then you should have been listening to white music, and you want to be a part of their society. So if our music is not killing them, and you're divesting from our society and going to their society, you can't say, oh, it was our music killing her and making her do this and making her do that. She left our society, maybe for that very reason, but she still continued to practice degenerate behavior because what she realized was there's white degenerates too. And they
Hold on. Go ahead, Brandon. I'm gonna address this comment right here. I'm gonna address this comment right here. And see, this is what I'm talking about.
Let me say something after this.
But hold on, but this is what I'm talking about. If black men are approaching her on a serious level and not stupid shit, she would have not been looking out at no white man. See, Gina, this is what I'm talking about, Gina. It's the lack of accountability. Like, this is what I'm talking about.
Still a crackhead. That's the difference.
There's just one thing I want to address. She's 24 years old?
23.
How much trauma do you really think she went through?
I don't know. You really want that answer?
She had a father.
You want that answer? Most of the molestation and rape and
no,
can I answer that as a woman because I think I'm a woman.
Listen,
most women go through a lot of abuse before they even turn 15.
Listen,
we're not going to superimpose abuse on somebody.
Alan, wait. I will listen to a lot of bull crap, but I'm not going to listen to Gina sit here and try to. She doesn't know anything about this girl's life. So what we're going to do is automatically bash her parents, her upbringing, the people around her because she overdosed. Why does it have to be like that? Why? Because one person makes the wrong decision.
Because there's a root, Brandon. Because there's a root to everything. You don't just because you want to sit and cuss this woman out don't make it okay.
Okay, I like the opportunity to speak though.
That's bullshit.
Hold on.
Wait, let me say this. Listen, I know people who grew up in good homes. My home as a kid was a good home. My grandma raised me. My grandparents, her kids grew up good. We went to Kingdom Hall. We read the Bible. We studied as a family. We went out to eat on Sundays and different days. We were not poor. We had a good upbringing. Parents who were there, took us to school, loved us, took care of our clothes. My aunt started hanging with the wrong crowd in college and started smoking crack. My uncle, he started hanging out with the wrong crowd in the streets when he moved out of the house and he went to prison. We're not about to do that. We're not going to crap on Black culture to make excuses for a bunch of degenerates. You need to stop doing that, Gina. You need to stop doing it because some people just end up being bad apples because they get with the wrong crowd because everybody gets to make their own choices. Women got tired of their fathers controlling their life until they were 35 years or 30 years old. So they wanted freedom. They wanted women's rights. Wait a minute. They wanted an end to patriarchy. Patriarchy protected women. It did because it kept them from making the mistakes that they make now. But that you guys didn't want that. But now everyone else has to be accountable for this woman's bad decisions. Damn that. I'm not accepting that.
So just be mad, just be angry.
Hold on, let Last Zulu go, and then Gina will pass it back to you. Go ahead, Last Zulu.
All right, I got 3 points. I don't necessarily remember that. I don't know if I remember like a year and a half ago. I think about 2 years, about a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, where a white lady necessarily from Europe, she went gallivanting, I think, in somewhere in northern Africa, with the Arabs controlling whatever, and got killed. I don't know if y'all remember that necessarily. It was this big thing that necessarily was on the news. It was some little white lady. I think she was from Britain or something. What are the white dudes that say that live over in Britain? That they were, I mean, like Britain still has a pretty decent military. They can ride up over there necessarily and go to I think it was Morocco and go kill some people. They damn sure could go ride over there and go kill some people. But the reality is, what did those men say? What was she doing over there? And where was her father? The reality is she rebelled. Once you rebel from under from under me, that's it. That's it. You cannot say, oh, F you, I'm gonna do what I want to do when I want to do it when I want to do it, and then say, oh well, then you still gotta protect me. Oh no, hell, that don't make no sense. That's literally like you trying to cover your own child. Like you tell your child, go in the house, close the door. Your child say, F that shit, I'm gonna stay outside necessarily, and I'm gonna be out here goddamn swinging with you. Motherfucker, you 2 years old, you can't beat nobody out here. Go in the house. See what I'm saying? The reality is she went from under the coke of her father necessarily or her brother, and she did what she wanted to do. And at the end of the day, she got caught. That's the reality of the world. If you necessarily go out there in the streets, you do have to run the risk of you may get effed up. And she knew that, and she didn't care. And the reality is, as a Black man, we have to look at this in one simple way. She basically said to us, to the rest of the world, I don't need no man. I am uncovered by this man. These men, I don't need these men. All right. So when you basically said that, you basically told them, I'm out here for the streets. I'm from anybody. I'm a mercenary, basically. Cool. If you want to be a mercenary, that's fine. You can do that. Ain't no problem with that. But then you get mercenary tendencies. I mean, you get a mercenary. You can't get killed out there and being a mercenary. There's no loyalty in the mercenary game. And she's got killed out there being a mercenary. But the reality is, it's not our fault. Because once you leave our protection and do what you want to do, and when you say I'm gonna go against you, at that point, there's nothing to say.
It's on you. It's on you. If a dude get killed,
some Diners?
Hey guys, I gotta go. Diners, thank you for having me on.
Oh, no problem, Brandon. Appreciate it, brother.
All right, peace, y'all.
All right, go ahead, Kales Rain.
Well, from what I'm hearing, that part of Bridgeport, Connecticut is the poorest part of Connecticut, or one of the few poorest part, from what I'm hearing. And I'm looking at some of the videos and highlights and saying that, yeah, she's living the life and she does what she wants to do. That's why when we hear other stories into it, that she's not really connected to the family like that. She's like one of the modern women that said, I'm gonna do what I want to do, and if ain't consequence, oh well. So to find that she found herself dead next to his caucus weight is a testament of This is what happens when you don't be around the people that has some care influence in your life. Now I know most women grew up without the fathers. She did, so there's really no excuse. I don't care if anything she went through, any what you so called touching on stuff.
Amen.
When she made the conscious decision to do what she did. She did what she did. Now, Daniel, I'm not sure if my background is too much noise.
Yeah,
Can you
I
hear
can
it?
really hear you from the background.
Yeah, that's why I'm in some place. So wherever I said, if I was clearing up, I hope so. But that's my take on it. All right, I'm gonna jump down.
All right, go
I
ahead.
do have one question to say, but that is the mirror.
I'll talk to you later.
It's one of the things that think Gin said necessarily. The reality is when people say that trauma and it's because of trauma and I did it because of trauma, and I can understand that, right? We all understand you can have something in your mind.
See, I'm not really buying.
No,
Okay,
I got you, but I want to get to this point real quick.
Go.
We all understand trauma, right? You can go through something in your life and that can be horrifying for you, right? But let's be real. If I say, cool, because I went through trauma, I should be able to goddamn knock out your sister tooth anytime my tuna casserole ain't warm to 110 degrees. That shit ain't flying nowhere in this world. Let's be for real. If I said and said I can just goddamn carte blanche, just start beating the shit out your sister necessarily. Not only she ain't going to agree with that, most people in the society is not going to agree with that necessarily, right? But when you look at this, like look at her actions, then now it has to be an excuse. Right, so we understand you as a dude can't go around here and just start beating up on motherfucking people, right? It's without without expecting something to happen to you. She expected to do this stuff without expecting something to happen to her. That's the reality. That's simple as that. It wasn't trauma. You decided to do what you want to do. You wanted to see if you can get away with it. She didn't get away with it. It just cost her life. That's it.
All right, Gina, you want to add to something you want to say, Gina?
But I just want to say, it's funny because you're saying it wasn't trauma. You don't know that. Period.
No, I'm saying it doesn't matter if it's trauma. If I say if I
finish what I'm saying.
trauma, it doesn't matter that I got trauma.
It does matter, and that's the problem in our community. That's why.
Can I beat you? Man, can I beat you? Man, I have a question. Can I beat you without?
No,
if I said I have trauma, is that okay?
Can I finish my statement?
I'm asking. That's a simple question.
No, I don't want to answer the question until I'm finished my statement.
Man, I have a question. Can I say?
No,
can I beat you?
You don't have to. Could you pause him? I don't understand this.
Yeah, go ahead, Gina. Finish your statement. Finish your statement, Gina. Go ahead.
Okay, so that being said, you're saying that it doesn't matter. Your trauma don't matter. That's what they tell us as Black people. What happened to you don't matter. The fact that you're reacting the way you're reacting as a Black people right now, and you're saying that it's post-traumatic slave syndrome, that's bull. It don't matter. You should be able to get up and fly right just like everybody else. The thing about us in our community, the hypocritical ways that we deal with each other, it's only affecting each other. Like I said earlier, Black men, it's all in your hands. I'm going to put this right here, right now, and I'm going to make this as honest as I can be as a Black woman. Please don't stop me, nobody, because I want to be honest with y'all. I'm not disagreeing on anything that y'all said about the decisions that this woman has made, the statements that she has made. All I'm saying is that you guys need to do better. Because even the way you're responding to something like this, you can get your point across without being hateful. You could get your point across without calling her a crackhead. You could get your point across. All you need to do is let the rest of Black women, the ones that are still alive, because, this woman's dead.
Isn't that what I said?
The ones that are still alive, let us know that you love us. Let us know that let us know that you still need us in your lives. Because, you see, that's what we're not getting from you. And that's why women are doing some of the things they're doing, because Black women need.
That's a lack of. I hear nothing but lack of accountability. That's all. I wish I could make.
I'm done with that. I'm going to be getting off. I love you, Dinus. I love your channel. Thank you for letting me come on board. But this is a man's fear. I can see you guys. This is not even about her. This is not about. This is about the fact that she is making you guys feel some way, and that's not even okay. Because to be honest with you, there's a bigger work that can be done here right now.
Okay. The bigger.
Can I prepare? Can I talk? I just got here. Thank you guys.
Yeah. Bro, your sound isn't like it's off. I can barely hear you. Like that's the only problem. Like,
can you hear me now? Hello.
Go ahead.
I say, thank you for allowing me to come into your platform. Thank you so much. Um, I can really sympathize to what she said. But one thing I can totally said is a lot of time, a lot of a sister speaking with feeling is never like point of view. A lot of time when you hear us, you quickly get your emotion get the best of you because how we talk. We men sometimes when we talk, we're not trying to be disrespectful. We just try to point our point of view. I know sometimes it can come out harsh, but the reality is and reality is the fact is the facts. Like I'm one of the guy who loves sisters. Like I'm one of the guy who probably get hurt by sisters. But like you gotta understand when a man try to make a point of view, it's not about trying to be hateful towards black women a lot of time. I know that's why you guys perceive it as right. It's not about trying to hate toward black women. Sometimes we just try to make a point of view, but you guys it's very emotional. You guys take it that way. I don't know. I just come into the platform. I only hear some of what he was saying, but I'm sure what he's saying is trying to be hateful toward all black women. He's just trying to put out a point of view about the circumstances, right? If he should still here, if I'm making sense, right? Anybody can chime in.
Yeah,
Right.
what I've been trying to say is that I feel personally that what I said was more than fair to the young lady and to the sister. The problem is that people do not want to take responsibility for the action. They want to blame on the system and blame on everything when the system is a problem. Yes, even men can be a problem. But the fact of the matter is she made these decisions. And when you make these types of decisions, you do not always get to come back from them, unfortunately. And she is one of the ones who did not make it. You gave the example of Malcolm X. He made it back. Okay, but this is not going to make it back. So our job, what we're doing here, is we're pointing to her, saying, Black women, do not get caught up in the feminism, the anti-patriarchy system, the and the hot girl summer and the social media and trying to be a city girl, okay, and because this is what happens when you get in that lifestyle. When you live a rebellious lifestyle, the rebellion can come with a consequence. I don't think that's being unfair to her. I sympathize with the family. I can't imagine losing one of my daughters in this manner. Okay, but this is on her. There's only but so much excuses you could have for trauma when you're 24 years old, grew up with a two-parent household and an intact family. All right, so we can't just assume and superimpose this trauma on her as the excuse for why she acted. Maybe, just maybe, she was a follower doing what she wanted to do, and her consequence. That's all I have to say about that.
All right, so hello everyone. I want to give some opinions on this. Being from Los Angeles, I went to Prince Dynasty. I've been sub since 2020. Found your channel then, and just talking about this subject about how these divestors are in the city. We see this dynamic of Los Angeles percentage of Black people is around 12%, but the situations you see are there's negative and toxic dynamics between Black men and Black women in Los Angeles. But what you do see is them trying to attempt to divest with these Mexican Hispanic men. When they do this stuff with white men. I grew up on Figueroa Street. They call it Picaho Street. It's called the Blade. The track. And you see this dynamic going on over there. And it's a reality in which you see things presented on television. Staples Center, which isn't the Staples Center anymore, Crypto.com Arena. You see this stuff about Black Girls Rock. They host BET Awards there, but on that same street, you see Black women doing bad. So I just want some contrast to reality when we talk about these things, and it just has to make sense because Black women and Black men are in a messed up position. But to be presenting this image as if Mr. Clean, white man Zaddy is just this perfect individual and it's all Black men's fault. We did not implement WIC programs. That was something that Black Panthers had put in position. The Black Panthers had set up the LA chapter of that, and the government set that up. So, you know, it's a lot of things when we talk about Black women, not even understanding history and how we even got to this point. So just a lot of finger blaming, finger pointing, and it just needs to be take the emotion out of it, logic. And we have no real leaders anymore. Everyone's bought out, the church, preacher. Black men are respected in the church, so Black men have fell back from religion. It's a bunch of sweet choir boys and women in the church, and it's not respected. So that's all I gotta say. I really could have went more. I'll stay on, but I'll let y'all speak, man.
Gina,
Yeah, I would
you
like
wanna
to
add?
say something before I go. And I want to thank you again for bringing me on. I appreciate it. I just think that it's time that you guys start speaking to Black women and stop talking at Black women, because what I see is a lot of what should be like Black women should be this and Black women are doing this. And maybe if you talk to them and really listened and really try to understand, because we are different, just like this brother
Bourgeois.
So I Sionye?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, so that being said, just like this brother said, there's a perspective that, yeah, you guys, you think differently, you respond differently, but that's never gonna really be a good thing for us to be able. Because when I came on here, all I heard was she's a crackhead, she's a this, she's a that, she's out here sleeping with white men. But to be honest with you, I know that is the surface level stuff that we're seeing, but there's a deeper issue in our community. Like this brother said, in that area, they have a area that they call whole something. That's a bigger issue, because little girls growing up are automatically looking at that and they're thinking, okay, and I just want you guys to really look deeper into this, because if it matters. If it
No,
matters, if it doesn't,
it,
then
it, it matters, Gina, but I just don't want to. It's like I don't want to overcomplicate. Like, for example, when I was in college, all right, I played football in college. All right, we had white women at our disposal. I'm not gonna overcomplicate it. It wasn't trauma. The white girls were there and they were easy. And so I just
Definitely,
don't want to
definitely.
overcomplicate this. Like, if we don't know what happened. She had a strong Black father, she had her mother, and she had brothers. So it's like, but we're still trying to, well, Black men need to do this, that, and other. Dude, she had a whole Black family. And so
Donna said, can I
we
just
don't have any facts on trauma. So I'm just like, when I was in college with the football players, the white girls were downtown. It was no trauma. It was easy. I just don't want to overcomplicate every situation and every mistake, and want to dive deeper, because we just don't know.
we're in the deep now, though, Dinus. We are there. We're not in the past where it was so separated and we were able to see clear distinction of the good, the bad. It's all intermingled now. And I'm gonna say I love you all. I thank you. I'm gonna keep listening, but I'm cooking. See.
all
Okay.
right. Let me say something again. I understand what she said, but I totally understand what Diamond said. Look, when I was in college, man, I went for a PW college, right? And there was a lot of sisters in college, a lot of them, but they were not dating guys that were in college. A lot of them were dating guys that were in college. The guys that were in college, that were going to school, that were educated, they were look. All of them have boyfriend, but the boy we like, what's your boyfriend? Is he here? And they're like, no, my boyfriend is in the street. My boyfriend is in the street, right? So you got a lot of those women. Even that young lady that passed away, she said, I'm tired of color. So that means like the guy that she were picking were the bad guys. But when she got tired of those bad guys. She went for the white guy. So black women pick black men different how they pick white men. When they didn't pick up black men, they go for the hood guy. They go for the guy who's not really ready for settle. But when they go for the white guy, they usually go for white guy. I can honestly say, guy, most white women don't even want. They go for the leftovers. They go for those simp white guys. They go for those very naughty white guys that most white women don't even want, right? Most white women don't even want. That's who they go after. That's one of those white guys that go to Asian country, that go to African country, that go pick them up. That's who most of the sisters. I see a lot of fine sister, man. I swear to God, with like big booty and everything, with those corny ass white guy. I'm like she I know she will not even give me a time of day if I talk to some of those sisters, right? when they're early too. But they go for the wrong type of black dudes. But when the outcome come bad and they go pick up those naughty white guys and the relationship go a certain way, they're like, oh, white guy is better, white guy is this is that. No, it's how you pick white guys. You just see the white, right? You don't see the different character of white guys. But when you see the black, you go for the rest of us, and you said all of us is black. But when the outcome is bad, and you're like, oh, all black guys is bad. No, it's the black guy. Most of the time they go after. That's not good. And then you make it look like all black guys is God. That's all I gotta say, man.
Yeah. Two Nigel, go ahead. Two Nigel, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, man. Well, you guys, man, we're rough today. You just said just now yourself that it wasn't complicated and it had nothing to do with
Yeah, I just
trauma.
think, Two Nigel, not to cut you off, I just think like Pookie in the hood shoots 5 people. Oh, he did it because his father wasn't around. But then I know plenty of men whose fathers weren't around that didn't decide to go shoot up and blow up the hood. Like we just want to overcomplicate everything. It's like you made a choice to go blow shit up, and now you want us to oh, it's okay. Oh, you know, oh, you didn't have your daddy in the hood. We want to make excuses and for everything and don't want anybody to be accountable for anything. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, because when you said you encountered white women because of proximity, it wasn't based on
it was there was no trauma. It was just it was there. It was no trauma.
The same thing could have happened
easy.
to the lady.
Yeah.
The same thing could have happened to this lady. Just because she grew up with a black parent doesn't mean all she saw on TV was for blacks.
Right.
It was Western too. So her mindset was probably Western, and she did what she did. Let's face it, we all make very, very bad choices, even up till today. When I come on many panels, you hear me complain about some of the things we do in our community. It's not only black or white. This is men or women, I mean. We all keep making bad choices. When we start, that's why maybe what Gina was saying makes sense, that we should remember that we are all not perfect. What do you want from the women? Come here and say, I bow before you, you are correct, you are correct. What you're not going to get that. You're just going to get conflict. We have to understand that we have all made bad choices. And if somebody has made a bad choice, we say, okay, because this lady is dead. She's made a bad choice and she's died. We say, okay, what can we learn from this? I hear your point, to hold people accountable and say, okay, if people are, divesting, these are consequences.
What we can learn from it, too, Nigel. What we can learn from it. Like back in the day, they had the Don't Do Drugs commercial. They would show the person before the crack pipe and after the crack pipe. Len Bias, here we go. Len Bias, the basketball player in the 80s. OD was supposed to be like the number 1 draft pick in the NBA. They came out, don't do crack. Don't do this. Don't do that. Now with this system, we're saying, look, the grass isn't greener. Don't do that. This. Don't do that. It's the black man's fault that she did this and that.
Nah, okay. If you look at it, you can say Whitney Houston passed because of Bobby Brown and all the kind of. Just because you go with black guy doesn't necessarily guarantee this thing. We're all messing up in so many different ways, but in my mind, there are so many of people that are also not messing up. Like you said, a lot of people that have gone through so many difficulties too. They didn't grow up and just start messing up. You see what I mean? So I understand your individualistic take on these things, but there's also the aspect that as a collective, we are not always, how do I put it? We don't act most intelligently as a collective. And part of it is how we hold people accountable. Because when people hear us tearing our own people to pieces, all they see is that what is wrong with these people? Look at how they are tearing their own to pieces. Mm-hmm. You see what I mean? So maybe that is something we need to think about. I don't think I have the answers to this. I'm just saying that, it doesn't look good when we keep saying women keep making excuses and make excuses. We men make excuses to where the whole community, we are all making excuses. If you look at our community, everything we've been doing till now has not been the same as other communities have been doing. Most communities take care of their affairs properly. But we just let things flounder. The men, the women, everybody, from the diaspora to the continent, the same thing. So there's them to go all around on this topic. So I don't have the answers. All I'm saying is that let's just
why are we acting as if this is a guess as to what her influences are. Her influences were clear. Her influences were the Cardi B's. Her influences were the Meg Stallions. Her influences were the City Girls. That is the lifestyle that she was living. When black men step up and act as men and speak out against that, we are shouted down. We are told that that is not appropriate. That we are being misogynistic by shouting down, ironically, their material, which is also in itself misogynistic in a way. So the problem is that we never are allowed to hold our women accountable as other groups are. Though
sure?
other groups of people are able to go ahead and check their women, and we're not allowed to. And it's because our women are allowed to go to the system, whether it be corporations, whether it be the feminine, whether it be White Zaddy himself, and have them check us so that they can run wild and do whatever the hell they want to do. That's what this woman represented, and that's what she was, and that's why we're speaking out against it. And what you're hearing is a frustrated group of men who are actually talking about holding women accountable and making this woman a cautionary tale to other young ladies to not go down the same road.
Hey, yo, Prince Dinas, I
Go
gotta
ahead.
ask you, man.
I'd like to
You
go next.
seen? Hello.
Go ahead, College Night. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, all right. So, you've seen what's going on in Los Angeles as far as
Yeah, I left in 2014, and I knew that when
man,
I
I
left
left 2019. I ain't been back since.
when I in 2004, like 2013, 2012, I was like, okay, Los Angeles, the writing's on the wall. And in 2014, I got up out of there. I'm glad I did. But go ahead.
Yeah, last time I was there was homeless encampments, RVs all up and down the I-10, the 110, Broadway, Vermont, they everywhere. But also the situation with black women, and it's like it's being ignored. And you had this young 15, I think she's 16 years old, named Tiana Theus. She was dumped on the side of the freeway overnight. It's a big story. I think you should look into it as well.
Okay.
You've had the Inglewood quadruple homicide. They got the Super Bowl coming up, and it's a lot going on. But it's happening to black women as far as like this same Lawrence Smith Fields thing. And it's like people don't understand that there's a pattern here, and also there's gang activity, there's drug use, and we just want to ignore it. Like, why? Like, and it's not even us. Like, you got some black men that are taking up for this situation as far as deflecting from the drug use, the fentanyl. So we gonna say that the autopsy people lied now. We're gonna say that they lied about fentanyl and hydroxycontin and lean and promethazine. They gonna lie about that just for to protect that man? Come on now. Like, that's where we at with it. That's where we at with this. That's all I gotta say. It's a lot more I could go into, but the situation for the second largest population in the United States, and it's a lot of homeless black men in Skid Row and in Venice
College,
Beach.
now let me stop you. So from 2009 to 2014, I would go on Skid Row and feed the homeless every Sunday. I would do
Yeah.
peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, water and fruit. I called it Operation Peanut Butter and Jelly. And it's just like I said, I just knew the writing was on the wall. Like back then, I'm like, I gotta get out of LA.
Yeah, it's bad for
So,
black people. It's bad, and everybody's ignoring it. Like they
but
like the
but
black
like
folks in LA
but
want
like
to party and
but
drink.
College night, like Brandon said before he got off, he said that a lot of our sisters want to leave Pookie and Ray Ray, but then they take that Pookie and Ray Ray mindset into these other communities.
Yeah,
And in just the dope, and I mean, you just don't know what these other communities like. You think Pookie and Ray Ray's bad. You have no idea what these other communities, the type of shit they're into.
I hear black women talk about getting an Arab man, and it's like, do you not know how like patriarch based they are? Like, how you think the black
Yeah.
man is controlling? Like, you think you don't know the Arab man? Then, like, what?
But and that's
But they'll
and that's
listen.
the
But they'll
point.
listen
And
to him.
that's the point. And that's why I just come on here just like once or twice a year. And like, look, you think you got it bad with Pookie and Ray Ray. You think it's gonna be better over there. Because like I said, I used to see these divestors in LA. They look, you could just look at a sister and say, okay, she's
Divest.
divest.
Yes.
She has
That's the
specific
wig. Yeah.
divest.
Look, yeah.
Listen, divest wig or
Yes.
divest weave, or if it's natural, you just they just look so
They
rough.
look like a cracked out, cracked out Paris Hilton, like a
Right.
trying to be like her, like it's it's a prototype. You can see the voice, the Valley Girl accent, trying too hard, trying to fit in. You know, like yeah, it's bad.
Yeah,
It's
like I
bad.
said, I used to see that shit all the time in LA. All right, Last
Okay,
Zulu,
I
go
have a
ahead.
question.
Then to Niger. Go ahead, Last Zulu.
All right. I don't think we're looking at this. I think we're looking at this a little too hard. I think you can kind of look at it simpler. All right. Let's say we as black men build the wall, right? We say don't nobody go over this wall at this point in time for whatever reason, right? We build a wall. We go to sleep at night necessarily to go we got to rest or whatever, right? Then the women come up and say, you know what? I'm gonna go throw some acid on the wall. I'm gonna throw some acid on the mortar. I'm gonna start chipping at the wall, right? And then see what I'm saying? Basically, when we wake up in the morning, we're like, why does extra work need to be done? Why are we working double as much, right? Because the reality is, you have to understand that when you do traitorous things, you're just a traitorous. Like you have to understand, like when men do traitorous things, it is what it is. When they said when the Germans attacked the French, whatever, one of those French women did, what did those women do? They was like, oh, yeah, we gonna do some treacherous shit, right? And when they went and did it, what did those French men do after that? I don't know if y'all know, but when they got those women, the community, the men and the women, they fucked them chicks up. They fucked them chicks up pretty goddamn wild. They provided them chicks in the street. Them chicks lived a horrible life to the day they died. The reality is there is no punishment mechanism. Your women actually will tell you we will work against you, and the reality is when you understand that she will work against you, then you just have to make different decisions. If I'm willing to work against you, if I'm willing to be a traitorous to you, then at that point you can't really do too much, because a house divided among itself cannot stand. And if she is willingly tell you, I will actively work against you. I was at 80% out of wedlock rate. I would actively necessarily work against you. I would actively call the police on you and try to get you killed. I would actively do this stuff and do not care. I would actively try to get you get you in court necessarily to draw resources from you for my own benefit. At that point, you have to understand that she made her decision. You just have to understand that you have to make yours. That's how I look at it.
Go ahead, to Niger. Then we go back to Alan Harvey Brown, Bowen, and we'll start closing out. Go ahead, to Niger.
Yeah, there's a lot of mix with what he said just now. The German and the French had something to do with war, and
Well, the Germans, I think it was World War II. I think when the Germans invaded France.
Sleeping with the enemy is a very serious one, and I think women generally, you know how they like men with power and resources and all the rest of it. I'm even shocked that it's not even more pronounced. Given that, I've had, Nigerian men in the House of Senate saying, oh, we should get security people from other countries. It's not a shame. Get people to come and help you. Like, why should the women respect you then? What kind of human being outsources the survival of his species to other groups? And you expect those women to respect you? The same thing can be said for in the diaspora too. If you don't have any sense of control and power, why are you shocked women don't feel safe under you? They want to go to an Arab guy. They want to go to a white geek. They want to go to wherever they can find this in shelter. You shouldn't be shocked. Like I said, in our community, there are so many things we should be doing that we are not doing. Do you know how embarrassing it is? If we really know how bad it is, we the men will really be embarrassed. Ask yourself how many groups, even Asians that are barely 5 foot tall, can figure their own issues out. And we are still struggling, swinging around. We have about 1.something billion people on the face of the earth. What are we doing with it? And you wonder why the women now and again shoot in one direction or the other. If you outsource your survival to any other group, then don't be shocked people don't respect you. It will start with your women. I can tell you right now, if you tell many Nigerian women today, you know what, there's this Arab guy, he's got a bit of money, they will jump the plane. They will join.
Right. So
this is what women do. And sometimes we are blaming them. We forget that we as men too, there are things we can do. Look at the Japanese men. We are taller, stronger, physical, but look at what they are able to accomplish for their own people. What have we done to deserve all the kudos that we keep asking for?
We are not asking for kudos, sir. What we're asking for is cooperation, and cooperation is necessary in order for us to rise too. And what happens when we have we're not asking for any kind of kudos because we know it's not coming. We're not getting it. Okay.
Exactly. It's not self-pity. You have to get it. You have
right,
to earn it.
right. So it's not coming. So what we're saying is that if we need partners who are in line with our vision, and going and pretending that you're going to go out and be with somebody else and that's going to make things better is a false premise on the part of these divestors. That's what we're specifically talking about.
We all know in life, if you have what it takes, women will be running after you. You don't need any encouragement, and it's already been proven that if black men have the resources, they are the most attractive to all groups. So we just need to get our act together, not keep pointing fingers in every other direction, because to me that is just down the barrel. You are going down the barrel. You should be going up the barrel. And we have seen so many examples of so many people. To me, the more I look at the way things are happening and the data, I really feel embarrassed. I really do. Because as a collective, this guy always, Dr. K always uses term that our IQ is quite low as a collective. And we keep repeating these things. And this is why what Gina said earlier on, that she is just addressing the immediate thing, that we should be a bit more circumspect about this thing. But from my point of view, you have to earn it. And if anybody should understand it, Brandon should understand it. And this is, Diners, you should understand it, because you are individualistic and you feel like you can do, you have accomplished a lot for yourself, and you don't have any issues with women, do you? So women will come for us.
Listen, I have issues sometimes, but you know what's crazy? Like, I have issues sometimes, but no matter what, black women will be number one. I ain't divesting. I'm not going on the other side of the fence. None of that. No matter how many issues I have, how many problems I have, black women will be number one. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with that. And you are an example. And many black men should be learning from that. I think maybe they just didn't know this aspect, that I don't know why they don't. You have to make yourself worth it. You have to accomplish stuff. You have to make sure that you have the respect will come to you. You don't even have to ask for it. I never have to ask for respect from anybody, because if it depends on what you can do, what your capabilities are, it will come to you. So when you start complaining and knocking women down, it seems like just punching down, and we have so much blame to go around. So I'll just leave it there.
Why do you think we're
No, I have a question. I have one important question, right? Now, in any society necessarily, name me one society where the women say, you know what, I'm going to work completely against you necessarily, and that society has survived or even thrived. That they name one. Anybody?
None.
We are uniquely terrible compared to any group. Just name any group in this world where even the Japanese.
I gotta address the comment. Hold on. This is what we'll do. Let me address this comment. 290 responded. Success 2,201. You go ahead. But the statistics are already there. All right, the statistics are out there. Black men are marrying black women by over 80%, 85%.
Yeah, that's correct.
So this good Diners, however many brothers with resources dated marrying out. No,
it's not in mass.
That's not the truth. The majority of black men are marrying black women. The vast majority.
They see celebs and they think that's reflective of the whole black race. They see celebs and sports athletes marrying white and Hispanic and Asian women. I think that represents the whole black community. It's crazy.
Or they use bad experiences and they want to apply that for everyone.
Most of them is just because of proximity, like Dinah said earlier. Like even in Nigeria now, most black men marry black women and the other way around. But that doesn't mean if you give the women the chance to marry any other group, they will not take it. You see my point? So you have to keep an eye on that dial, because the moment the women have access, they will take it. Because it's up to us to make ourselves what this in procreating for. Really, why should they procreate for people that are not accomplished, that are not able to defend them, that are not able to ensure that they have a vision for this world or even their own people?
Why would you work against me though?
They are not working. Are they working against you by marrying another?
I want to add something.
We can have proof. We have proof. That's the difference.
Can I add something?
Success. Go ahead, Success.
All right, because my brother from Nigeria, you're saying that. Are you saying that the men in our community are not doing nothing? Because according to statistics, that's not true. You got 51% of men who are single and childless. You got 64% of men that are in the middle class.
See,
And
I'm
they're
telling
30%
you.
of that. Oh, wait, hold on. And 30%
Okay.
of that men, they're also married. Because the problem is that we never had a voice for about 50, 60 years. Because if you look at Oprah, you look at all these shows from back in the day, they used to say, black men ain't this, black men ain't that, they ain't doing this, they ain't doing that. You know what happened? Black men took that L, they ain't say nothing. Now, of today, the men have a voice, and now they're giving their opinions. And now what happens is now we're talking, now they're upset. And
Upset. You
instead
talking
of
down
listening,
to black women. You
right,
talking down.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Instead of listening to us, what we have to say, they're being reactionary. Their reaction with feelings.
Yeah, but your reaction is coming from you expecting them to bend when you need to ascend. That's the way I'm looking at it, because what I've seen is that you can't. It's like everybody else coming with $100 in their pocket. You come with $1 and you expect the women to pay you attention. It's not fair. You
But it's
have to
not. It's
earn. You
not.
have to earn your position.
But it's
When
not
she's
only
dating,
that.
I have a
It's
question.
not.
When she's dating white men, when black women are dating necessarily was a white man, is she dating realistically the governor's son? Is she really dating the
No,
prince's
no,
son?
No,
no.
it's
No,
and
no,
That's
it's
no.
what I'm
not.
trying to make
What is
you,
she?
Nigel.
What kind of man
But
is she getting? She's getting the same caliber or a lesser value necessarily white men that she would get necessarily
and
over
then
over there. The reality is she made her choice. She said, I like that white skin. I like the prestige of that. That's what I'm gonna go. Like it's the same thing with Asian women. Asian women have
I
no
got something
issue
to
in
say,
saying
man.
that they will go with
I
white
wanna
women.
I wanna add on top of what you just said too, and you gotta understand too. 1965. If you look at all the statistics, we were married at 80-20%. For example, Malcolm X was what? Married. Marcus Garvey, married.
Yeah.
Yahweh Ben Yahweh, married. But these are all three people who I just named, all different religions, so they're all married because marriage was a thing in our community. Now in today's society, now it's like it's a whole 180. Now we're married at like 20%, and we have children out of wedlock at like 80%. And what I'm saying is that now we gotta look at statistics why this happened, because us as fathers, we vent the men. And what happens is, unfortunately, with some women, not all, the men that they're choosing, they choose poorly. And when they have a bad relationship with these men, they want to use a blanket and want to blame all men. But if the fathers was there, they will vent the men. Like I said, you're from Nigeria, my brother. You know how Nigerian fathers are. If they'll say, if a woman goes and brings a man up at their house, they gonna say, all right, who's this guy? Is his mom and dad married? How many siblings do they have? And it's just from all communities, from Indian community, from the Asian community, even from the Middle Eastern community, because the men will vent the boyfriends and say, all right, listen, the guy who you dated, I don't like that guy because he's such and such. We don't have that.
Yeah, I think it's just about tone, really. I don't think this is a very serious stuff, but there is a bigger point there. As black men, I think I would rather we focus our energy on acquiring what will give us respect, because respect doesn't come from this thing. If you have this thing, respect, people will this thing come for you. Look at I saw the other day Will Smith was doing this advertisement, that's documentary and stuff. Look at how all the people were fanning over him. White people, like, they will answer his question and make themselves look like they are little children. They are doing it not because they love him so much, because he's successful. Everybody will come for you when
And
you
to
when
and
you
to
when you
Yeah,
Nigel,
aspire.
can I
hold
just say
on, hold on, hold
something
on,
quick? I
hold
just
on
have
one second. To Nigel, I'm glad you brought up
a
Will
few
Smith.
points
Will
to
Smith,
make.
listen, Will Smith brought his woman a $5 million home in LA. She's still not happy.
Exactly.
Listen, she right now, Will Smith's wife is having ethereal sex with Tupac. At every moment, every chance she gets, she brings up Tupac. I mean,
Talk
like
Every
magnificent.
day, bro.
every day,
Oh
every
God.
Teaches
day.
his children to revere Tupac. Teaches
I,
his children to revere Tupac. How
Yeah,
disrespectful
can
is
I say something really quick before I leave?
Go ahead, Trouble. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Dynasty, for having me. Yeah, I want to disagree with Two Niger.
on this aspect that women should look for who can provide them more. Well, that is when society is equal, like everyone has got the same opportunity. You can say that. But if you look at the African American society, the men are struggling than the white men. You know, there's systematic racism against the black men. They're on a disadvantage. So if these women don't see that as a fact to work with these men, what do you expect them to do? The white man has got an upper advantage over the black man in America. So these women should be able to accept the situation of these black men and work with them. So when you say they're bringing more, they have more, they're bringing more to the table. So these women just go to where who is providing more for them. I think that's the problem. Then these women are not ready to work with your men and sacrifice with them to be together. So I don't really accept your point that you say who brings more, so the women need to go. So therefore the women don't like them, don't want to work with them. So for that reason, I think I disagree with you.
And then on top of that, you got to look at the numbers and statistics. It's like how many black men earn $100,000 in a year? Like what, 15%?
But
it's
she says the point I'm trying to make, it's not really about that. It's just like a lady in the chat room said that women aren't gonna work with shit. The point I'm trying to make, they say they're not gonna work with shit men in the black community, but then they go to the white community and work with shittier men in that community. That's the point I'm trying to make. That's the point I'm trying to make. And I've seen this every day. College Night will agree. I saw this on a daily basis in Los Angeles. That's the point I'm trying to make. I'm not saying black men are perfect. I know there's some shitty black men out there, but what's going on, Divest community is saying, don't work with these shitty black men.
Right.
And they're going on the other side of the fence and bragging and boasting and being arrogant about the shitty white men or shitty Hispanic men or Asian men or whatever that they're working with. And, they're loud and proud about it. That's the point I'm trying to make, which is so hilarious.
It's so crazy. It's just like you don't see Indian people, Indian women doing this. You don't see Asian women doing this. You don't even see Middle Eastern women doing this.
They've been doing it, bro.
But not in mass. But not in mass. If they do it, but it's not in mass. It's not in mass.
But Asian women.
But my thing is that do you see Asian women going on YouTube saying that, you know what, we're gonna divest from Asian men? Is it in mass?
Yes, and that's why. And I'm telling you, I've been in the college when them dudes say, "Goddamn, what is it? The Asian chick is the white man's whore, bro," and they'll be like, "Hell yeah, fuck, bro." But it's not. But I'm gonna be honest with you. The question is really this: if you're going to work against me, what do you want me to do? And in reality, it's like this. Like I sometimes I have a question to ask you, right? If I was to go to Nigeria, right, and ask for to buy something, right, what kind of price you think I'm gonna get? Am I gonna get the foreigner? I got American price, or am I gonna get the regular price?
Gotta pay that dowry.
I'm saying I'll buy anything. Buy anything. If I go over there with my American accent, you gonna say, "Oh, you know what? I think I can capitalize on you." So I'm gonna see if I can take advantage of you.
I think what Dinas is saying is that when they leave the divest, in other words, they don't often go for even better distant option. Now it's just as bad because in the end, or even worse, because it's the same person in the end that he's moving from one to the other. It's not like they're going to change their attitude. They're still going to attract the same kind of situation. About what tribal African said, you see, this is the kind of stuff I've been hearing, for decades. Our men, we keep making excuses for them, and we keep doing, life is bad for us. But I've seen recently that I don't think it's as bad. I think we are the ones making it worse. Because if you look at the African continent today, all the black nations, their security, their defense, and everything is horrible. They don't even have enough soldiers to defend their own countries. Haiti had to even disband its own military completely. So if you live in a world where other people defend their communities and make sure their children's schools and their streets are safe and everything, and you decide to run a country where everybody has to put iron bars on their doors and everything else, you have problem. You have a problem. Where everybody has to be buying generator all the time, you have a problem. If you have the numbers and you're not using your people, I've seen countries that have got 5 million population and they've got almost 1 million soldiers.
Bangladesh is one of those.
It's crazy. What is wrong with our people? Why is it black nations and black people are like that?
Look,
If you
that's
see
the,
that, you
that's
should
the
know that
problem
we
for
have serious problems.
everybody.
The reason is
That's
simple.
the problem
Tonight,
for the black man
reason. The
and
reason
the
is
black
simple.
woman,
You have
not just
traitors.
the black man's problem.
And we
You
blame women
understand?
for everything. When this is something that the men are responsible for doing.
Who said we're
Men
blaming
are the
women for
foundation.
everything?
No,
I mean, that's like
Founders of nation.
No, I don't
that's
accept
a
that.
whole
I'm just saying,
different.
not Dinas. I'm not saying it's you. You didn't even.
No.
What you are
But
saying is
the black men I hang around aren't blaming black women for everything. Like I
Not
said, we have this
everything.
conversation once every blue moon tonight.
Someone is saying that they
But-
attack us, that they actually go against us. They try to attack us. I'm like, that's the one you should be worrying about. You should be worrying about getting yourself up, not worrying about what the ones that divest are doing. You see what my point? There's so much we as men need to take advantage. I think take responsibility for, and we need to start knowing that now.
And this is why, like, we got platforms with, Brother Dinas. We need to have our own platforms and have a voice. Once we have a voice, I'm saying that at least we can see another narrative. Like you said we got to take charge, right?
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So we got to have our own platforms. We got to finance our own thing. Because if you look at all the stuff, like from the shade room and all that stuff, they're controlled by women, right? They financially support themselves, right? We got to do the same thing.
Yeah, I'm like to Nigeria, of course. Like Africa is poor, right? This like Chinese, what they call Lebanese and white people. They come to Africa where they can have like African women, but these African women don't go online trying to make African men like feel stupid or feel like inferior to these white women. They're just doing their thing low key, but it's like this on the diaspora. It's like a shaming thing for a black man. That is not correct. You understand? If you like a white man, that's good. That's your choice. Be with a white man, do your low key thing. But if you try to make it as a shaming tactics for black people or for black men, that's where the problem is. That's my problem with all this diverse thing. You see the movement online for black women to date white men. Why? If you like a white man, just be with a white man. Why is there a movement for black women online to date white people? I don't get it.
I don't see the movement you're talking about.
I want to speak from my perspective.
Oh, you ain't seen those, but trust me, they there. Like when you start necessarily roaming these streets, you see how big it is. Like the farther you necessarily you go into the hole, the more you see. Oh, damn, this is what's really there. It's kind of like you don't really know how far the rabbit hole goes, and when you understand it, it's like that.
The rabbit hole is so deep,
I'm gonna say tonight. I got one thing to say before I'm gonna get at this and go. The difference between necessarily in your country is to say. If a white dude come over and he say I want to go get with a Nigerian chick, he still got to go pay for the bride price and whatever. She gonna do whatever she want to do, and she still gonna even though she's still gonna act like she got some goddamn sense, correct? Right? She ain't gonna go out here and say, fuck them Yoruba dudes, go F them so and so's or whatever. She ain't gonna really go out there and say that, is she? No, because she know at the end of the day, there's gonna be some there's gonna be some consequences that's going over there. The reality is, your chick was got them say, I will actively work against you, and I will actively work with other men to actually fuck you over. When you understand that's the reality is, then you got to make hard choices, bro. It's not a nice thing, but it's the world that you live in.
Have you been listening to Franklin's channel?
I'm gonna give you an example. Ice Cube. So this past election, Ice Cube said, "You know what? Let's approach both candidates, both parties, and see what we can get from each party, and then we'll roll the best one." You know who was yelling at him and trying to shut him down and cancel him? Sisters.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but what did she say though? What did she say?
And hold up, and I wanted to add too. I remember he proposed a bill. He said this was for black folks, and the women on that panel on the Fox show. You know what they said? They said,
"Why
what about black women?
Why wasn't we part of making?"
And he's like, "Yo, ain't black folks, ain't black women, black children included?" They said, "No, they wanted it separate." Even when Barack Obama, he had the what was that program for black boys? I can't remember. But when he had that, black women got upset.
Yeah, I think what he was doing was very, very laudable. I think many of our community today in that's the African American community, they believe that power comes from voting. I think that's I just realized recently that there's no group that gain power from voting. Actually, it's true things like what Ice Cube was doing. You have to have deals with people, trade horses. That's how it works. I don't know any group. Name me one group, Asian or Indian, that gain power just because they are voting.
And we are a targeted people, man. These people set up a gender war for us, man. You know, in Nigeria,
Exactly.
y'all not getting attacked with the same level of stuff of 60 plus years of this as we have in America. So that's why we see these dynamics of this rebelling against unity on live television. These women are on Fox. Who is funding Fox? Fox Soul. That ain't no pro-black thing, That's the type of stuff we got floating around our community, and it's nothing but black women up there in their 40s. They against us. We got the red table talk. We got the real. We got black women on there. What do we have for black men as far as a round table of black men sitting around talking?
And that's exactly
ESPN
why we
ain't
need to
even all black
control our
on there.
narrative.
We ain't
That's
got nothing,
exactly
bro.
why we need to control our narrative. Once we have
Exactly. I
control with
agree.
our own platform, we finance our own stuff. Nobody can't tell us nothing.
Funding them, man. They actively funding. Just wait. I give you 20 years in Nigeria, they're gonna have an all women board up there talking about feminism and an oppressive Nigeria. Hey, man.
Let's not start with that one.
Well, I think that's not gonna happen.
In northern Nigerians are not having that nonsense.
Yeah, they
It's
wanted
not
to
gonna
put
happen
Twitter
in
there,
Africa.
didn't they? They
Africa
wanted to
is
put
so
Twitter
conservative
headquarters
now.
in Nigeria, but Ghana accepted it, right?
But my question is, why is that though? Why won't they allow that? The question is, them chicks, they know that to say it's gonna be some level of you gonna get fucked up if you try that shit. The reality is, your chick, no, I will actually work against you. And the problem is, these dudes do not understand it. When your chicks say I will actively work against you, there's nothing you can really do. You're not gonna. I can't save you while you fighting me. That's the reality, bro. I can work and I can do whatever. We as men are adaptable. We are smart and we are intelligent creatures, bro. We can do a lot of things.
Man,
but
you
you're
put
not
that
going to
cape
work
on for
against
these
me
American black
and
women,
then
you're
say,
gonna end up bruised up.
what's the fuck is wrong while you're actively working against me?
I think we are just looking at the symptoms. What they are doing is just the symptoms of what is happening within the community. We just have to. I think for me now, it's on the men now, because nations are not founded by women. I don't know how many nations have been founded by women. Revolutions are not often by them. It's men. It's in our hands. The Japanese were bombed and destroyed how many decades ago, and look at them where they are today. We have to get our act together. That is where our mistake is.
That's where you missed where you make the mistake is women cannot build nation. That is a very true statement, but they can also destroy it. That's the difference. Like, it's destroying shit is way easier than building shit. Building shit takes time, it takes knowledge, it takes mathematics, it takes years and failure and stuff like that. That's the reality. But fucking some shit up is easy.
You seriously think they hate you that much?
It takes time and it takes time. Reality is to go burn a car down. All you need is some gasoline and some fire.
Hey, I want to give an example. You know the Brittany Renner chick, right? She got with the guy, what is his name? PJ Washington.
The basketball player.
He's in his
PJ.
rookie contract. So if he, while being on the court, her doing all this speaking and taking the kid, keeping him away from the kid, he's still in his rookie contract. So she's willing to mess up her own bag by having him mentally unstable while not being able to focus on the court in the game, while worrying about where his child is. He won't even maximize that contract of getting that big deal because of how he's playing on that court, because he's focused on that. So this is the type of example that we deal with a foundation that can be built, that can be taken away just by her own ego and narcissism. That's the type of westernized woman we have running around here. Now, I get what y'all saying about it being on the men. I understand that. I agree with that completely. But we also got to recognize the system in which is in place that can and will use the judicial system to take things away from you. Man, it's treacherous.
Don't worry
Dr.
too much
Dre and
about
all
that.
Man.
They will take something from you. A man that has a lot of resources, don't worry about what the woman is taking. Let them take. You will build more, and because in the end they use it for children and whatever thing they want to do. Point is that we should focus on ourselves, especially as men. We have to have a bit of dignity and start looking at these things from our own point of view, because we have responsibilities that we have not met. I really think anybody that is listening to this, you're a man, you have to understand that we have not done
I
our
gotta
bit.
ask you. I'm sorry, I gotta jump in. What does a divorce affect? How does a divorce affect, and what is the repercussions, and how was the money handled after a divorce in Nigeria? Because in America, I'll let you answer that before I go on my tangent.
Yeah, that's the question I do want to answer.
I
like
think
the answer.
generally the men, it depends. The men generally are generous. You know, the women, they often, even during the marriage, they tend to build houses for the woman and, you know, stuff like that. So by the time they divorce, the woman has a source of income for the children. If the man is rich, that's what I mean. But if the man is not rich, obviously they may have a bit of argument here and there. But you don't get a lot of divorce anyway in Nigeria because of that.
What about alimony and
divorce
things
is
like that?
decided by the family, not even the court in Africa for the most
So
part.
what about alimony and things like that? Is that given?
No, I don't think.
No?
I think the men are eager to pay for their children. You see, that's it's slightly different. The men generally try to provide for their children, and
Men here pay for their children. But the thing is, the two nights which I missed. The only thing is you misunderstanding necessarily because I don't know if you was raised in America. But the thing is like this: women have no problem separating if a woman can necessarily have your child necessarily, but also have your money without your input. The problem is she will do it. The thing is that America is like a giant science experiment. If I gave you the option to do it, would you do it? If I gave you the option to kill this person and get away with it, would you do it? The reality is the woman said, I probably would. That's the difference. Now, when you as the man have to understand that you have to look at the other end of that table when a person says, yeah, I probably will slit your throat if I get the opportunity. And you have to, let's say, look at yourself and say, well, damn.
So I got
up to you to provide your truth now, isn't it? You keep your truth away from her, this thing, rich. So, see, a man has to be a man.
I got one more question to ask you. Could a man really not, could you really love a woman without trusting her? Now that's the real question.
I'm not an expert, man. I don't know anything about what you're talking about right now. All I'm saying is that we should take responsibility for ourselves. That's all. As men, that one I know, because everything I've seen indicates that, yeah, I'm not surprised people laugh at us.
Look, in America, my whole point with bringing up that question is, in America, it's basically it can be a hindrance to be a union. You want to go, be married, that can be a hindrance to your future because of her, her shady tactics or what she has in her mind. So that's just one example. It's a whole little dynamic that Africans and other cultures, that's not set up for y'all to deal with these types of things where it's like that. You got to do this. You even paying the courts for after divorce. You paying the courts. They getting a percentage of your money. The judge is getting a percentage on that. So it's a lot. It's a business within itself, obviously, but that's a part of it. So
and it could be very expensive.
Being a union, some people, I'm not a pookie myself, but it's pookies out here who just say, hey, bunch of baby mamas, why get married? The women are accepting that.
And
Diners, thanks for having me here. I've got to run.
No problem. Yeah, what would
my point is the men should be responsible and not worry too much about what the women are doing because they will come to us when we take care of our affairs.
It's not, and that's what I said. I said when Gina made the statement as far as what should we do with sisters like this and how we should save them and what should we do? I said I'm not worried about them, and she got mad.
Right.
Well, she didn't get mad, but she got defensive. Oh, we got to reach out to them and all this. I'm like, no,
you can't save everyone. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Because I need to focus my energy. I need to focus my energy on the sisters who I'm building. That's what I need.
I think before I go to, I just want to say this. I think the condition of the African American is not the same as continental Africa, and I think everyone knows the African American woman will agree that the African American man is not that free. So I think they should work with him very close, understand his worries and his struggles, and continue to be with him. So that's just what I want to say. So thank you for having me, Dynasty. And
no problem. What we'll do, we'll go ahead and we're going to close out. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Shout out to the brother who just super chatted. Hold on, who was that? Ragamuffin. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Everybody that super chatted, thank you. Until next time, family, Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. And yes, we want the sister Lauren Smithfields to get justice. It's just, again, like once a year, we had this conversation, and we still get attacked for just telling the truth. The grass is not always greener on the other side. That's
Speak
just
that
what
truth,
it is.
brother. Speak the truth.
Until the next time, family, Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Peace.